You're watching Blood Politics with Boston Brian.
Is that any better? Hello? 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 Can you tell me my name? Hello? Can you fucking hear me? Because it would love to be fucking. Come on. Sound? Sound. Sound. We got sound. Yes. All right. I see yeses in the chat. I see yeses in the chat. How you doing? Let's go. Well, first of all, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're watching from. I do appreciate you. If you guys could do me a huge favor and just hop out of the chat, smash that like button, share this out so we can get the most amount of people in here as humanly possible. Ask is on no sound. Maybe you're just a little late. Some people can hear me, some people can't. Let me know. Give me thumbs up in the chat, everybody. I just want to say happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Even if you're not the actual parent of whatever person, little kid you take care of every single day or a few days a week or on the weekends, you deserve the recognition now. So happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, amazing, loving, caring, relaxing day to yourselves. Preferably with no fucking kids, would be the best situation, I'm sure. All mothers would say. Mozart, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Thank you to everybody who has given to the show, has donated, super chats, become a Patreon member, a channel member. We're still trying to work through the Wi-Fi issues. I'm still in California. So bear with me with the Wi-Fi issues if it gets a little laggy at some points, but we're trying our best. So yeah, and thank you, a big thank you to the Major for joining us last week. Great conversation. If you want to go ahead and check out that conversation, if for some reason you may have missed it on last week's show, check it out on my YouTube channel. I posted, I believe, just the conversation with him, which I almost took up the whole show. I felt bad because of the, let's say, tech issues that we were fighting through. Yes, happy Saturday. Sunday. What are you guys talking about? Let's see here. Who's on the wrong day? Laser Sword. I think you're a day late and $1 short, my friend. Because it's Sunday, as we say in the Boston area. It's Sunday, and what a week it was. What a week it was. I mean, I'm gonna have to rename this show to "What a Fucking Week" podcast. I think would be an apt name for a political show in today's day and age, because it just, the news stories come at you so fast and so furiously. It's pretty hard to keep up. So, what did we have happen? Trump had a really stormy week in court in Manhattan, if you know what I mean. Stormy Daniels took the stand. She absolutely did not hold back, almost to her detriment in some cases, but I think she definitely got her point across. You did hear some of the reports that Donald Trump was swearing under his breath, shaking his head, was none too happy with the testimony coming from Stormy Daniels, which means she did well, and which means her testimony really got under the skin of Donald Trump, which means there's probably truth behind it, let's say, because I don't think he would have been mad if she was up there telling stories that we could provably say are false, but obviously she's not. Obviously, she's got the people corroborating her stories. We still have Michael Cohen to take the stand. David Pecker already corroborated most of her story, most of her testimony. So it wasn't a good week for Donald Trump. Another a terrible week for Donald Trump in court. We had the right's reaction to Stormy Daniels taking the stand, which if you can mix misogyny with, let's say, I don't know, just hating women altogether, that would pretty much encompass what the right's reaction was to Stormy Daniels taking the stand. Joe Biden telling Bibi Netanyahu that, listen, it's not going to be our weapons that are going to be killing people in Rafah. Okay, I think finally Joe Biden has had enough. I think finally Joe Biden has heard the word, so to speak, of the American people in the positions that we now take in that conflict over there. You had Donald Trump supposedly speak in front of, what'd he say, 10 million? What was it, 40 million? 70 million. Was it 70 million? He spoke in a new stadium too. It is. It's a profound honor for me to be here with you as well. So let's get right into it. First thing I wanted to check out, let me present here. Well, let me say hi to the chat. How are we doing, chat room? How's everybody? Kella, Steve, PB, Deborah. How are you? Nanette, how's everything? Mark P, thank you for your services. Alyosha, how are you, my friend? Carter, Stargale, Kath, Ask, Wes Webb, what's going on, my friend? Paul, how are you? Michael McAndrews, Adam, thank you for your services, my friend. Joy, Amy, Deb, Leah, JFH, Caveman, Salty Sylvester. We got the whole damn fam in the house once again. I do appreciate you guys joining me. If you have not, make sure you hop out of the chat, hit the like button, share this out to whoever you can, family, friends, internet buddies, whatever you call them. That would be fucking fantastic. Brian Taylor, how are you? Kelly Downing, how are you? Thank you to everybody that's already gifted and signed up to become a subscriber, which is free. You can also, for less than the price of a Snickers, less than the price of a Reese's per month, you could become a channel member and help, produce content like this from people that have nobody above them telling them what they can or cannot say, what they can and cannot cover, and in what way or what way not to cover such things. So if you could find it in your heart or in your wallets to, come out with a few bucks, a couple dollars every month, that would be fantastic. You can also check out my Patreon at patreon.com/BostonBrian. You got 3 separate tiers on there that are pretty accommodating to whatever financial position you may in. And if you can't do any of that, just make sure that you do all of the free stuff, please. Like, share, subscribe, get it out there. Yes, I can swear. Brian Taylor, yes, I can swear today. I'm not going to go crazy swearing, but I am not under any strict guidelines or orders not to swear. So I do appreciate it. Let's see if we can get right into some clips. What's the first thing we want to check out? All right, let's check out. This was funny. Before we get into the reaction of, let's say, the right about Stormy Daniels and into Trump's rally, I just wanted to get into a couple other things that I found extremely. See if I can share this now. Present. I'm going to present screen, share screen. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go to here. I'm going to add to stage. And then I'm going to try to figure out how I can do this. I'm going to do a little bit of this. That looks good. How about this? That's not it either. How about this? That'll do. That's not it either, though. Let's see, a little bit of that. No, that ain't it. How about this? Yeah, there we go. I knew we were going to get it eventually. Now, some of you may have seen the coverage of this on Midas Touch, or from Midas Touch, I should say, but some of this is just remarkable. It's a short clip. I'm not going to get into too much of it, but I think it's worth playing. I don't know if any of you heard this, but let's check it out. Let me know if you guys can hear it, see it.
You have a big announcement with your podcast. I saw you had quite a conversation with Ann Coulter. Tell us all about it.
Hold on. Let me set it up.
Yeah, look, I spent a year.
This is obviously Charlie Kirk, interviewing Vivek Ramaswamy, about his interviewing of Ann Coulter, which immediately went off the fucking rails, if you caught any of it. So let's check this out.
A year in the presidential campaign, speaking hard truths that I think were needed in our movement, and I'm continuing that now. I've taken some time with family, but I want to continue those hard conversations, especially on.
And I just remind you before it comes up that Vivek has put himself in a position where he's pandering to racists as a man with dark skin, not knowing that no matter how hard he panders to these people, no matter how correct these people believe he is, no matter how much they agree with what he's saying, they are never going to vote for that man as president of the United States.
Hard truths that I think were needed in our movement, and I'm continuing that now. I've taken some time with family, but I want to continue those hard conversations, especially on the right. I think we sometimes don't have enough healthy, open discussion and debate, even within our own movement about.
Right. We just don't have enough discussion where the person that I'm interviewing is openly racist, is openly bigoted and disgusting to my face in a way in which I can't react, because then I would then be calling out myself for not agreeing with where the party lies in their values. So this is what he means by that.
Why we believe the things we actually do. And so I relaunched the podcast that we were running during the campaign, took a hiatus for a couple of months. It's called Truth, and it's first episode with Ann Coulter. It actually was supposed to be about what I think of as a hot topic, the N-word you're not supposed to say, which we said, which is nationalism. And I think that nationalism is a hot topic in America, but Ann.
No, I think it's Christian nationalism that is the hot topic in America, where Marjorie Taylor Greene says, she calls herself openly a Christian nationalist and how there's nothing wrong with that. But we know the stigma behind that, and we know where that would lead women in this country if we do become an openly Christo-fascist, secular country, as these people would love us to become.
And just kicked it off with, she's a person who doesn't hold back. She was very frank with me. And she said, you know what?
Frank, racist, disrespectful, all pretty much the same thing, I guess. In this,
but I can't vote for you because you're an Indian, even though I agree with everything you have to say.
All right. So, in the fact that this doesn't give him pause, right? The fact that he doesn't walk away from this interview with all the clarity that he needs on where people on the right come from when they talk about not voting for somebody with skin color, say Vivek has. How he could possibly come away from that and think he has some way to get in, or some way he could possibly break through with these people and honestly become a serious candidate for president on the Republican side is beyond me. It literally blows my mind. And then to go on Charlie Kirk's show and then talk about it, come on.
And let's just say that set us up for a great hour, actually diving pretty deep into what it means to be a citizen of this country. And, we're looking forward to having more of those conversations. We're going to do one of these a week.
Thank you, JD. Appreciate you.
It's part of a portfolio of what I'm doing going forward, Charlie, but I do think having some of these conversations where we're not just.
And what better clip to have in your portfolio than having a white woman openly demean you on your show without any pushback from yourself? Great. A great thing to slide into your portfolio when people are trying to look up, what you're about, your stances on some of these policies, and how hard you're willing to push back on people that are openly bigoted, racist, and disgusting.
Citing the conservative talking points of the day, but really challenging ourselves to understand why we believe what we do. That's the point of the podcast. And so I hope a lot of people check it out. And it's called The Truth.
Let's get a taste of Ann Coulter's comments there, which I do not share, for the record.
Yes, you do, Charlie. You do. You 100% share all the views and sentiments that we're about to hear, come from Ann Coulter's mouth. Charlie Kirk 100% agrees.
We got 125.
So, Ann, thanks for coming on, and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Oh, thank you, Sally, for the 5 gifted. You're the best. I do appreciate you. Hopefully it's coming through all right. The sound is all right. The video is all right. So Hopefully that's all right too. But I do appreciate you with the 5 subs. Let me know if there's any issues, and we'll quickly get to them.
Today.
Me too. Thanks for having me. That was a fantastic opening monologue. I too am a fan of yours. So I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black.
I guess I can call you articulate because you are not an American black.
Yours. I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory.
I know it's racist. Now, how to address this on your show if you're Vivek, right? Like, you can see his uncomfortable laugh here, right? He's 100% uncomfortable with this whole situation right off the get-go. But what do you do in his situation? He can't call her out. He can't give her any pushback. He can't say that saying shit like that is beyond reprehensible, especially in 2024. He can't say that saying shit like that makes her look like an absolute tool with zero self-respect or care for other people in this country. What's he going to do? He can't do anything. He literally has to sit there and let her say that. He has no option. He has zero options in this fight other than letting her say exactly what the hell she wants to say. And honestly, the more bigoted and racist she is, and the more she speaks her mind, it probably helps Vivek, or in his podcast numbers, so to speak. But no matter how big or how many people on the right listen to his podcast, or listen to his show, whatever the fuck this is, they're not going to vote for him. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. And it's amazing to me that he does not understand that.
And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
And that's the ball game right there. There's the ball game right there. Nothing else you really need to look at. And for you, and then we can move on because this is it.
Fact, probably more than most. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
It's not that I wouldn't have voted for you, right? It's not just that I wouldn't vote for you. It's I wouldn't vote for you because you're an Indian. I agreed with everything you said, probably more than any other candidate, she says. But no matter how much I agree with you, no matter if I think that your policies would be best for this country, and obviously this isn't me saying it in the words of Ann Coulter, if she believes this with her whole heart that Vivek would be the best for this country, that his policies would do more to benefit this country than any other candidate, why wouldn't she vote for him? Because of the color of his skin. Period, point blank. And this isn't like some in-depth analysis of this. She fucking said it with her own mouth. That's it. I mean, again, these people will absolutely tell you who they are and what they're about. If you get them in front of a camera, if you get them in front of a microphone for long enough, and you talk about the right things that stick in their craw, they will tell you what they want to do, what they, who they want included, who they want excluded, and they'll come right out and tell you. You really don't have to dive too deep into this shit. So disgustingness for man.
We'll get back to that.
So that's the teaser, Vivek. Is that right?
Look at him. He does not know what to do with himself. Literally does not know what to do with himself.
Yeah, it was actually, I was taken by shock because I know people are very candid.
I was taken by shock that a white woman, a conservative white woman on the right, in today's political climate that would still stick to the right-wing party, basically told me the truth and basically told me everything that the left has been telling myself and my campaign since we launched our campaign for president of the United States. These people will not fucking vote for you. And it's pretty much the same with Nikki Haley, even though we just saw Nikki Haley get 25 or 30% of the vote in what was it, Indiana, I believe, after being out of the race for, I don't know, what has she been out for, a month, 2 months now? I think she's been out of the race. So for her to go ahead and pick up 25 to 30% of the primary vote from Donald Trump, again, being a woman, being a woman of color, being just all those things against her, and she's still not even in the race anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty much a big one. So all of those things against her, and she's still managing to take 30% of the vote away from Donald Trump, which is 30% that Donald Trump absolutely cannot afford to lose. Okay. Not only can he not afford to lose 30%, he needs to start gaining numbers in the range of 30% to even have anywhere near a shot, which is what he's going for. He's not going for the popular vote. He's going for the Electoral College. As we all know it, he says that with his own mouth too. All right. So, but it's amazing to me. And again, we've seen this week from Don Jr., from Don Sr. himself, and from many other people associated with his campaign, how scared they are about RFK Jr. and the votes that he himself is going to suck away and is sucking away from Donald Trump in his campaign, right? So you see, let's see if I can pull up. I don't know if I can pull up Don Jr. I might be able to pull up on mine. X, gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. Let me just see here, because they've really started addressing it. We saw Donald Trump came out with a few videos that he posted from Stank-A-Lago, where it really sounded like he was worried about the numbers and the polling, whatever numbers and polling that he's seen or his team has seen, referencing RFK and how many conservatives and Republicans are going to be willing to vote for him come November. So let me see if I can get here. I'm just looking through mine. It might be a little bit easier to look through mine. Can't wait. 100,000 people. I still can't believe he thinks there was 100,000 people at that fucking event. That is just hilarious. Oh, here it is. Let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna share this tab instead. I'm gonna go up. All right, let me make sure you can see it. I'm gonna add this to stage. Put this here. Put this here. That's not it either. Put this here. All right. Change the background. I don't know if I can make it any bigger. Maybe I can do this for you. How about that? All right, we'll do this. So this is Don Jr. posting a clip of RFK in 2018. Pretty generic. Doesn't really matter. Not pertaining to what he wrote. Ultra-liberal Democrats, he wrote, have a great alternative to Joe Biden. Can we finally stop pretending that RFK Jr. is anything other than a liberal, please? It's enough already. And I'm just, to me, what I wrote is it just reeks of desperation. You sound nervous, Don, almost like someone has seen the numbers and knows how many votes RFK Jr. will suck from Trump. MAGA loves him, Don, and your father is screwed because of it. But, I mean, if you put this together with, Don Sr.'s video post talking about RFK at length, if you post this with, if you take this with the other people in his campaign that have gone out onto the MAGA talk shows, the right-wing talk shows over the weekend and at the end of last week, trying to get conservatives once again off this RFK Jr. train, because it's damning to Trump in his campaign. It is. If you add the votes that people that Nikki Haley supporters that are absolutely 100% in no way, shape, or form ever going to vote for Donald Trump, with the people that are that do like Donald Trump but don't like certain aspects of his campaign or his personality or his policies, so to speak, and are looking at RFK Jr. as a viable replacement for Donald Trump as a Republican candidate to president of the United States. Add just those two things together. That doesn't even incorporate his court cases. As of course we've seen Eileen Cannon once again play to Donald Trump's strengths, Donald Trump's favor, so to speak, as she postpones indefinitely the Jack Smith's stolen documents case down there in Florida. Not really too surprising, honestly, if you've been looking at anything Eileen Cannon, any of the rulings, any of the judgments she's made so far in this case. She was appointed by Trump, and she's playing to that line. She's going to stick to Donald Trump's side. She's going to do everything possible, bar getting thrown off the case, to postpone, to delay, to give him, Donald Trump, the most favorable position he could possibly have in this. Jim the Geek, how are you, my friend? How's everything? Andrea, how are you? Happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you for your services. Phyllis, happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Rita Ward, I do appreciate it. Who else did I not say hi to? Doc in Paradise, how are you? James, what's going on, my man? How's everything? Steve, once again, how are you? Jesse James, Andrea, Robin, how are you? Peter, let's go. I like when Peters show up. Peters are nice guys. They always seem to be nice guys. Terry Foster, how are you? Leah Terry, Kelly, bon vivant. I like it. I wish I could say that. I wish I had a nice French accent I could say that in, but I suck at that. Who else we got here? PB, you've been in here all morning. I like it. Thank you very much. Trina, Dexy, much like KFA. Let me get to this one. Much like KFA, Popak, Ben, and other legal minds, no one is surprised by Cannon's decisions, but we're all sad about it. You know what? I don't know. It's Glenn Carson did a video yesterday telling us how to file a judicial complaint against Cannon. Again, this is another thing that I've been saying, and no disrespect to any of the legal minds, the great legal scholars and minds that were just mentioned in that comment, but I am so fucking sick and tired of so-called legal experts, people that have been in the legal system or in the judicial system in some way, shape, or form for 40 fucking years, 30, 40 fucking years, all of a sudden now being shocked and surprised because the judicial system and the court system are somehow favoring a rich white man in some way, shape, or form. I'm sick of it. If you did not see any of this coming, because there was people that are not legal experts that don't spend every day talking about rulings and legal findings and anything like that, to have to know that a judge appointed by Donald Trump in this case was probably going to favor Donald Trump in every way, shape, in every way possible. I mean, I can't stand when these people come out as shocked and dismayed and in awe and fucking, oh my God, we've never seen anything like this in my 35. Yes, we have. You've never seen fucking rich white men get off or get favorable proceedings or get a judgment that probably shouldn't have been ruled in their favor, or a day in court where they have something to do outside of court where other people, the judge would have said, go fuck yourself, you need to be in court, or maybe they're now allowed to go do whatever they may feel they need to do outside of court. I'm sick of it. I'm sorry. If you predicted it in the beginning, then don't be fucking shocked in awe that it happened. The same thing that you predicted was going to happen. We knew Eileen Cannon was not going to be for the American people. She was not going to do this by the book. She's been She's been putting out rulings by, what does she call it? Paper ruling or paper filings or whatever the fuck it is. They're really not even like, basically it doesn't give Jack Smith in somehow, shape, or form. I'm not obviously a legal expert or advisor or anything like that, but her rulings are being made in a way where it hinders Jack Smith somehow. Paperless orders. Thank you, Doc in Paradise. Paperless orders is how she's been doing this, which is not typically, from what I've read, how judges in these types of matters would go and make all of their rulings and all of their determinations of the case. I don't think they would all be made by paperless order. So I don't know. I'm not like, again, I'm sure in some way you're probably right to be shocked especially in such a high profile case, that somebody like Eileen Cannon would be willing to make the obvious decisions to help Donald Trump so blatantly. I guess you could be shocked by that. But I'm sorry, miss me with the bullshit of being shocked that a fucking rich white guy is somehow getting favorable rulings and proceedings in the judicial system. It ain't gonna fucking happen. So I'm sorry. You're not gonna get any sympathy from me. A, if you're a legal expert, you should have fucking seen it coming. And B, if you're a legal expert, you shouldn't be shocked and dismayed and in awe by anything that happens in the legal profession. So just my 2 cents on that one. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this because I just covered that one. All right. So before we get into Donald Trump's rally in New Jersey, where I guess 17 quadrillion people showed up, even though I believe the place where he held it could only hold, I saw numbers between 15 and 30,000 basically, and obviously the whole place wasn't full. Still too many people, as I said, still far too many fucking people for my liking. Really, the man should be speaking to himself and maybe two nutters at this point, in a fucking couple teleprompters. That's it. At this point, we know he's a liar. We know he's a grifter. We know he's a con man. We know he's a rapist. We know he's into fondling women. We know he's into talking sexually about his daughter. We know he's into mocking disabled reporters. That should be the end of it. This man should not be talking. He should not have a fucking crowd at all, right? But that being said, clearly wasn't 100,000 people, not anywhere near 100,000. But yes, in a padded cell, Jeanette, would be would be favorable. Too many brainworms? Probably too many brainworms. But before we get to that, it seems that Don Jr. took his hand up at stand-up comedy. And for a man, right? For a man that all he does is talk about how free speech is being impeded upon, how, there's no free speech anymore. And one of the worst places to go in terms of free speech is Canada. If you're listening to Don Jr., if you're listening to the right, Trudeau in Canada, the worst of the worst, would absolutely never let Don Jr. speak in Canada, right? It would just, of course, Trudeau would step in, it would shut it down because free speech isn't a thing. So obviously Trudeau doesn't have to worry about, pissing people off and going against the Constitution. So if he was against what Donald Trump Jr. had to say, and the people that follow Donald Trump Jr., if he was against what they had to say, clearly Don Jr. would never be allowed to speak in Canada, right? Right? Wrong. Because Don Jr. spoke in Canada. Let me see if I can present this. Share the screen, share here, make this full screen. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add to stage. All right, so we'll do this. We'll do this. What's that say now? Free speech is under attack. Special programming live from Canada. Oh, I'm sure he had to sneak in there, right? I'm sure he didn't get into Canada on his own.
Handle.
He
Donald
definitely
Trump
needed.
Jr.
Let me see where he comes in. All right, comes in. There we go.
Hello, Canada.
And don't
How are you guys?
and don't worry. I only want to go through a few minutes of this. I think it's fucking hilarious that a man travels to another country to talk about how free speech is being infringed upon all over the place, but he's speaking live in front of a crowd in a different country with no issues whatsoever. So go figure on that one.
What are you guys doing today? Everyone doing well? Oh, it's good to be back in the People's Republic of Canada.
And I guess I should apologize if I sound a little raspy today. I feel like I've had some, chest, nasal congestion issue going on for the last couple of days. I think it's because it's so dry out here and I'm not used to it. Could be a thing. Not 100% sure, but don't go worrying about me. Don't go worrying. All right, next. Come on.
So, yeah, I'm probably going to end up sitting down, and it's not because I'm lazy. It's because I had knee surgery on Tuesday.
Okay, now he's he's been milking this now since it happened. Somehow because he had meniscus surgery, which again, if anybody has been in recently for a hip or a knee or any surgery procedure that back in the day was an extensive surgery with many months of rehabilitation and recovery. Now a lot of these procedures, obviously depending on the amount of damage done, the amount of wear and tear on those things, a lot of these procedures are quick. They're somewhat painless, and the recovery time has been brought down significantly. At least in the Boston area, I know we have some of the best hospitals in the nation, in the world, if not. So I would assume that to be in other areas of the country as well. That a lot of these things that, like I said, back in the day would have been extensive procedures with months of recovery, have at least had the recovery time, the procedural time cut down significantly. So, I mean, you can see how he's walking. It doesn't look like he, you know what I mean? That he barely has a limp as far as I can see.
So,
Hi, Bo.
yeah, had a little meniscus issue after years of overdoing it, popped, was able to get the surgery. I called Chris, or I guess Kimberly called Chris, be like, Dom's on the operating room table as we speak.
I don't know. Sounds like he's been hitting the meds a little bit. He sounds a little slower than normal in his speech.
Friday could be a problem. Chris was panicking. I said, if I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be somewhere. But I also avoided taking the meds because I don't want to be called Hunter Biden by the illustrious.
All right, so let's go through this. So he'd rather put himself through more pain rather than take, and again, I don't have any problems with people that don't take the pain medication prescribed to you. Probably the best thing to do if you can get by with it. If you can get by without it, I should say, because from personal experience, I know from falling off a roof in 2007 and the medication they gave me afterwards, it was incredibly difficult to not only get off it, but to find the line, to just find the line from when I was taking the medication because of the pain I was in, or I was taking the medication because my body wasn't feeling right from so long of taking the medication, that it was just not having the medication that was making me feel like shit, and not so much the pain from whatever procedure that I had or that you had. So that's kind of how it blurs, right? That's how the medication gets you. You're taking it for pain. It's not a problem. You're taking it for pain, even if you're taking it as prescribed, as it says on the bottle. And then all of a sudden, the line starts to blur a little bit from, okay, I'm taking this because of my pain and discomfort, to it's kind of, it's I haven't taken one in 2 days and now I'm starting to feel soreness in other parts of my body, or I'm feeling not as much energy, or just as easy as liking the feeling from the medication. I know a lot of people don't like the feeling from the medication. It makes them nauseous, lightheaded. You start feeling like you're going to throw up. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't like feeling altered in any way, shape, or form. So to you people, big ups to you, more power to you. But plumbing is way better than roofing. It's less of a fall. If I fall into a toilet, I'm not going to get as hurt as I did that I fell off a roof. That's for damn sure. I would much rather fall into a bathtub, let's say, than 30 feet off a roof, as I did in 2007. But again, irregardless from that, you don't have to make yourself suffer through pain to not take pain medication because you're worried about people calling you a junkie or a drug addict or anything like that. That's fucking ridiculous. If you have people in your life that love and respect and care about you, and you're taking it as prescribed for a necessary injury by a medical doctor from a prescription, come on. That's why doctors are here. Doctors are here to help you in whatever way they can. Some are better than others, and some are more careful than others at what they prescribe you. But still, don't listen to this asshole. Basically, is what I'm getting at. All right.
Oh, there you go. You don't think they would do that, right? Oxy for a knee surgery.
Am I wrong, or does it look like he's more fucked up? than usual. I'm serious, seriously too. I'm not even kidding. He seems more, I don't want to say intoxicated, more lethargic, let's say, than typical Don Jr. form.
Album, Chris was panicking. I said, if I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be somewhere. But I also avoided taking the meds because I don't want to be called Hunter Biden by the illustrious.
Slurring, slow speech, slurring his words, which again is nothing abnormal for Don Jr., who on his fucking best day can make it through about 2 sentences without screwing up a word, screwing up a name, slurring, fucking stuff, whatever it may be. On his best day, he's not a great speaker, let's say.
Oh, there you go. You don't think they would do that, right? Oxy for a knee surgery and crack, they're almost the same thing.
Nope, not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even in the same ballpark. Probably not the same universe if you think about it. If you really think about it, not the same. One prescribed by a physician, the other made in a shed.
They're looking for that excuse. But it's also good to be back in Toronto because I'll say this: I've had to do a lot of public speaking over the last few decades, but the first time.
Public speaking? You mean you haven't been canceled? Are you saying that you're still allowed to speak in public? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying it doesn't matter what country? Are you saying it doesn't really matter what platform it's to? You are allowed to speak with a microphone in front of an audience, and it's even streamed live to Rumble. It's like, it makes no fucking sense to me how you could do it's a tour. He's doing a fucking tour to different countries, to a bunch of different fucking places to talk about how free speech is being infringed upon. Hello? That's like doing a tour of fucking bank robberies to show how fucking cops have been cracking down on bank robberies too much or some bullshit. Huh? Let me run 17 miles to show you how much my leg is hurting. So just come on, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Jesus Christ.
Time I ever spoke in front of a large crowd. It's probably 200, 250 people, but at the time for me, it was a pretty large crowd, and I totally bombed. It was a total disaster.
Yeah, yes. As can be said from pretty much any time you've spoken in public, or any time your father has spoken in public. Let's see here. Let's see, I know there's got to be something. I don't think it's going to work. I think I'm pushing my luck too much by trying to connect my phone to the computer by Wi-Fi. Let's just keep it going here. Good as gold. How are you? What's going on? Stargale. What's going on? Linda Strickland, Joy Hine. How are you? Kelly Anderson. A few new members in here that we got going on. Martha Culver. Oh, Clever. How are you? So does he just talk about himself the whole time? Pretty much. Again, like I said, you have to do. I mean, if are you really talking about free speech if you don't do a tour across multiple states, across multiple countries, to an audience, like I said, with a microphone that's being streamed to different platforms? How else are you going to get people to believe that free speech is really being infringed upon? Right? Am I right? I mean, just how else are you going to do it? It makes no sense.
I had taken all this time to write a speech and get prepared and all of this stuff, and we were closing some other deal, and I had the old flip phone in my pocket. This was a long time ago. And I guess something was going wrong, and it started buzzing in my pocket repeatedly.
I think I'm looking up his dates and where he's speaking. I think the next country he speaks in is going to be. Oh yes, so he's traveling to Thailand next.
My speech, and I had like a Joe Biden moment. Right?
You had a Joe Biden moment because your flip phone was buzzing in your pocket? What the fuck does that even mean?
Not like I wasn't lost. Like, where is the crowd?
What's he got does he have a denim suit on? Is that the old Italian tuxedo he's got going on there? It's awful wrinkled. Did you have that professionally wrinkled, Don? Is that a professionally wrinkled suit, sir? And again, once again, has nothing, no material of his own, nothing he could possibly come up with spontaneously on the spot as he's speaking in front of these people. What's he do? Just copies his father. Just copies his father's stupid fucking fake imitation of what Joe Biden supposedly looks like, but never looked like, even though it was a video that the right wing people had to doctor to get Joe Biden to even somewhat look like he was lost on stage or talking to nobody, but in reality was just talking to friends on the opposite end of the stage, was, going to shake hands with somebody, or was actually, looking for maybe a second on where the stairs were. But again, these videos all have to be doctored, because if they weren't doctored, you'd never, ever in a million years believe that Joe Biden was in any way lost on stage or talking to nobody or shaking hands with nobody. Remember that bullshit?
Where did they? I mean, can you believe this guy is the nuclear football? So it wasn't quite as bad as what we see from the leader of the free world, in air quotes, big air quotes.
He still doesn't understand how air quotes work. For fucking 6 years, I've been trying to tell this motherfucker how air quotes work. Joe Biden is not, air quotes, the president of the United States and leader of the free world. He's the actual president of the United States and leader of the fucking free world. No air quotes needed, motherfucker. Dumbass just doesn't understand a thing about it.
But it was pretty bad. And so at that point, I said, you know what? I'm probably going to have to do a lot of this in my life. So if I'm going to be terrible at it, I'm going to put in exactly zero effort. And so the next time I got up and gave a speech, I had like 2 or 3 bullet points. I spoke for like 45 minutes. It worked out great. And so it was sort of amazing. So it worked out.
So ever since then, I've been doing zero preparation, and no research or backstory. I've done nothing. Is the point? I write about 2 things down on a piece of paper. I come up here, I wing it. You guys give me my fucking money. I'm on to the next one. Job done. What else do you want?
Out perfectly, because it was one of the rare instances in life where doing much less actually worked out, right? I'm not saying that's a piece of advice I want to give anyone. That's not usually the case. It's usually a disaster. But in this case, for me, it worked out quite well. So, I was excited about that. So it's good to be back here in Toronto, because there's honestly so much to talk about.
There is. It's just so unfortunate that you don't have the right to free speech to speak about it. Oh, it's almost like you got masking tape over your mouth, duct tape. They wouldn't let you over the border. You had to, sneak into Canada, I'm assuming, on a semi? Is that how you got in there? Because clearly Trudeau isn't going to let fucking Don Jr. come in and just say whatever he wants in front of a crowd. Just,
When you look at what's happening right now in the United States, in Canada.
Hold on. Where's he going to stop that? Right. Hold on, Wes. I want to see what Wes said. What do you got, Wes? He's so nervous, I almost feel sorry for him. There is a cocktail beta blockers mixed with your speaker.
In the UK, in Australia, in New Zealand, all of these places where, honestly, prior to COVID, we're all sort of aligned. We're for freedom and, kind of free speech and.
That line that everybody recites. We're kind of for free speech. Just if you didn't learn that one in school, in your textbooks, I'm sure that's how it was written. Kind of for free speech.
Yet you look around right now and you say not so much. Right?
It blows my mind. You're in an auditorium speaking to people in Canada. Again, fucking mind blowing.
I mean, for me, I can do, America off the top of my head because, the stuff that's going on there is rather insane as someone who's been at least a target of most of that.
What'd he say? Did he say I could do America off the top of my head? The fuck does that even mean?
Or, peripherally, right? I heard you guys talking with Kimberly and Glenn about, Russia. I was the #2 target of Russia. I was guilty of treason according to the FBI, the CIA, the head of the Intelligence Committee. Kind of a big deal. It's a crime punishment.
Well, no. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say if you were found guilty of treason by the FBI, the DOJ, the CIA, and any other letter group that you could possibly think of, you wouldn't be speaking on stage in fucking Toronto right now. Just saying. Just saying. Just a hunch.
Punishable by death. Kimberly is a lovely, cuddly woman, but when you're thinking about that in the back of your head, I'm like,
Kimberly is a lovely, cuddly woman. Okay, let's see. Kim. This is probably mean. Let's see here. Yeah, she is. No, I can't. I can't. That's just rude. That's just rude. So I'm not gonna do it. It's Mother's Day. Everybody should be nice. Everybody's gonna be nice.
Just don't know. It's not been a great day, Kim. She got me through it. But
all right, I'm bored. I'm done with him. I'm done with him. I am done with him. Let's get right over to it. We're gonna do this and do a little bit of this. I'm gonna do this. Let me get back to you. So I'm big on the screen. Yeah, I'm tired of him. He gets so. Again, the whole family, every fucking speech they make is the same reiterated bullshit, the same fucking talking points over and over and over again, making absolutely no sense whatsoever, and even going as far as to prove their points wrong. Again, what better way to prove that there is no infringement on free speech than to set up a fucking tour, a speaking tour of speaking engagements across state lines, across country lines. You know what I mean? It's like, what better way to prove yourself to look like an asshole than to set up a tour disproving the same fucking thing the tour is supposed to be talking about? It just blows my mind. All right, here we go. We'll get into. Oh, jeez Christ, that was loud. I'm going to share this tab instead. I'm going to go ahead and close this one so we don't have a ton of draw on the bandwidth, because that's a thing I learned. Don't know what bandwidth is, but I heard you can suck from it, and we don't want to be sucking band. Okay. Maybe not use those hand gestures when talking about sucking bandwidth, but I'll learn. Holy sugar honey bunch. All right, let's see here. We're gonna go with this. I'm gonna do a little bit of this. I'm gonna change the background for you. Do a little bit of that. I don't know why it looks like that. Let me see here. I'm gonna try maybe this one. Nope, that's not it. I'm gonna try maybe this one. It doesn't work either. Maybe this one? No. Let's try here. Let me go to settings, layouts. I'm going to do guest, cropped layout. We'll do all of those. Let's see if any of these work here. Ghost. Okay, maybe that's it. And then we do this. Fucking Christ. Maybe it's this one. That's not it. Maybe it's this one. That's not it. Maybe it's this one. All right, we're going with this one. That's the best I could do. Best I could find. I'm gonna make this larger, and then I gotta find out something I could play at the beginning because I have to have him muted because of his fucking stupid fucking song. So let's start that while I can, and then maybe we could do, I don't know. Nothing like the Soviet Union national anthem to kick Trump's speech off. You know what I mean? Hopefully you guys could hear that. And it wasn't just 30 seconds of dead silence as I look like an asshole. All right, let's see if I can find where he starts speaking here. All right, and away we go. Oh, we don't away we go. Not away we go. Because there's still a couple seconds long. And the only word that Donald Trump cleverly actually knows to this song is oh, Jesus.
Wildwood, thank you. We love Wildwood. We've been here many times. We love this place.
Where is he actually speaking? I know it says Wildwood, New Jersey, but where is he? Is he at like a fairgrounds, a fucking an airport? Where is he this time? I know I saw like fucking a Ferris wheel in the back. It's a water park, Pam says. It's a water park, which makes sense because his dance, you know, squirt, 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 shake your squirt, or squirt, 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 shake your squirt, or that way he's got towels and, you know, he's not going to clearly look out of place soaking wet from doing his double jerk off dance. All righty then.
And there's nowhere else I'd rather be this beautiful evening. It is a nice one, right? Then right here on the Jersey Shore at the world-famous Wildwood Boardwalk, great place, with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. As you can see today, we're expanding the electoral map because we are going to officially play in the state of New Jersey. We're going to
I'm not sure that's how the speechwriters wanted that worded. I don't think they're going to play in New Jersey. I think they want to make a play for New Jersey. Either way, both equally as fucking ridiculous to think about. What did Trump lose New Jersey last time by? What was it? 20 points? 2020 election results, New Jersey. 2020. Trump carried 25 municipalities, fewer than the 370 when Biden received. That's 2020 election results. I'm just for reference. I just want to see how much ground he would actually need to make up. Joe Biden won. All right, so let's share this tab instead. Hopefully you can still see it. I'm going to make it a little bigger. Okay, so here we go. This was 2020. Donald Trump with 2,608,335 votes. Donald Trump with 1.8 million. So roughly 16% he lost by in 2020. That is, not going to lie, a shitload of ground that you are going to have to make up. You are going to have to do a lot of playing, let's say, to make up that fucking ground.
to win the state of New Jersey. Got a great group of people with us, an incredible group of people. We're also looking.
I told you guys that to let me know I never want to be fucking small in this asshole. Ever. In a million years. Side by side, I can do. I will never have this motherfucker looking down on me, even if I'm covering his fucking rallies in this way. I'm sorry. Not going to happen.
Really great in the state of Minnesota, which hasn't been won since 1952, and we're leading in the polls. And
everybody's laughing at Jim. What I miss? Jim say something good? The revolutionary fought bravely defending the They manned the rampart. They fought on the tilt-a-whirl. And they used the Ferris wheel for vantage points. These beautiful soldiers. That's a good one. That was a good one. I'm sorry. All right. Now, I'm going to hide that one. And run with the speed.
The state of Virginia. And actually many other states. I don't know, could be all of them. This guy's so damn bad, it could be all of them. He's so bad, I think we're going to win them all. All across America, millions of people in so-called blue states are joining our movement based on love, intelligence, and a thing called common sense. And no one has more common sense than the tough, strong, incredible, brilliant people of New Jersey. I love New Jersey. I love New Jersey. I'm here all the time.
You could tell he spoke so highly of the people of New Jersey when going after Chris Christie and the people that voted for him, right? I think you could pretty much deduce his love for New Jersey and the people in it from how ridiculous he thought they were for voting for Governor Chris Christie.
Whether you're a Republican, conservative, independent, or even a registered Democrat, I'm asking for your help in saving America. Our country's in trouble. It's in big trouble. We've never been in trouble. We'll end up in World War III. These guys are grossly incompetent. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. You know in your heart that this country is not going to survive.
Okay, so with the recent poll we saw come out of, what was it, Wisconsin this week, I believe, where it showed Biden up 6 points. Was it 6 or 9 points on Donald Trump? I'm just going to go ahead and ask, how does MAGA, how does Donald Trump and the people that follow him honestly get it through their own heads that Joe Biden and the left are utterly feckless, they're weak, they are they can't govern, they are just, snowflakes, yet we own big pharma, big tech, big government, big fucking Pentagon, big shoes, big hats. We steal the elections. We somehow managed satire. This is satire. We somehow managed to rig an entire election when we didn't have the presidency in a way that left absolutely no trace whatsoever, and that in 60-something court cases Donald Trump could never prove. But all of that, and we're up. Joe Biden is still beating Donald Trump in the polls. So how can we be that bad, right? How can Joe Biden be that terrible, that sleepy, that feckless, and that, ridiculous, and still be kicking this guy's ass, right? Or even just be in the running, let's say. Because I'm pissed off that the numbers are even fucking half as close as they are. I think Joe Biden should be up by fucking 1,000,000 points. I think there should be 100% to no percent. But obviously that's not the way it's worked out. But how do they settle this with their group? Are they just not that much better than us, I guess? Is what is going on? I don't know. I saw somebody complain about the Wi-Fi. Bob, is Brian using Wi-Fi? It's sputter vision. I'm not sure. It's the first one I've seen comment that. So if anybody else is having issues with the viewing, let me know, and I'll see if I can connect to something else or something. I don't know.
Survive 4 more years of crooked Joe Biden. He's crooked and he's corrupt and he's incompetent. Other than that, he's doing quite a good job. Think of that. He's crooked. He's incompetent. He's the worst president we've ever had. Other than that, he's doing quite a good job. What do you think, Lawrence Taylor?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good? Yes, good. All right. Sorry. I'm an idiot. That's all there is to it on that one. I'm an idiot. I'm not even going to tell you what was the problem because then that'd just be embarrassing. And I'm an idiot. All right. So, what I was saying, I don't know if you heard me about the polling, but a couple of weeks ago on the show, we covered a poll that was carried out. And at the bottom of it, it actually showed you the times that they were calling people, the areas in which they were calling people, the time of day that they were calling people. And again, what I was saying is none of that is conducive to young people. Again, not a lot of young people, say 35 and younger, 40 and younger, have house phones to begin with, right? So that right there rules out a lot of people. The times that they were calling during the day, during the week. Again, not conducive to speaking to young people who probably are at work during the day, during the week. Calling on Sundays, calling during the day on the weekends or something like that, when most young people are probably out doing things or taking care of their kids or things like that. So basically, what you're going to get is an unbalanced and a biased view, so to speak, of who the people that you're polling, because they're probably going to be older. Older people tend to be more conservative, as we all know, right? So the fact that we're still talking about polls in a way that is definitive is kind of horseshit. Not going to lie to you. Because a lot of these polls, again, are not talking to everybody. They're doing it in a way where they're trying to make it seem like they're pulling information from all over, putting it together and making it as one. But that's fucking ridiculous, because when you're polling 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 people and then trying to put that number onto 335 million people, it's never going to be one-to-one. It's never going to be definitive, so to speak. You know what I mean? That's not going to be the final answer. Votes are where people are thinking now, what they are thinking now, not how they will think in the future. So let's continue with this. Sorry about the muting. I'll just say, when you see this light off, I guess, there's actually no way for you to tell me that I'm muted, so I'll have to do it on my own. But here we go. Thank you. If you guys do want to hop out, share this out, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, that would be fucking fantastic. Jim the Geek is a new member, and he is the man. I do appreciate him. And if you don't follow him on Twitter, make sure you follow him on Twitter. Let's go.
President we've ever had. Other than that, he's doing quite a good job. What do you think, Lawrence Taylor? Yes? Doing a great job.
Did he say Lawrence Taylor? Did I catch that?
What do you think, Lawrence Taylor? Yes?
He did say Lawrence Taylor. Again, this guy just knows how to pick him, huh? Whether it's Herschel Walker, whether it's fucking LT, just any football player, I guess, that has beaten a woman or, been arrested for having sexual encounters with underage women, I guess, is just the qualifications to be able to speak at or attend a Trump rally nowadays. Trucker John, thank you, buddy. I do appreciate it again. I think on the 11th show, I sound like an asshole trying to say that I'm still trying to figure everything out. But again, it's new equipment. At some point, when I get everything down to the actual equipment that I'm always going to use, I'll probably get more comfortable with it. But I'm doing my best, Trucker John. I do appreciate you, though, as well as everybody else.
Doing a great job. Look at those two guys, OJ, Lawrence, my golfing friends. We don't have to agree on everything, but we can agree that we want strong borders, not open borders. We want the American dream, not the Biden inflation nightmare. We want safe communities, not defund the police and abolish cash bail. How about cash bail? Of course, with me, they probably want bail. Let's get Trump to I'll be the only one in the country to put up bail. And instead of Joe Biden's weakness and chaos.
Just, again, makes absolutely no sense. Crowd doesn't even know what the fuck they're laughing at or why they're laughing. How is he going to be the only person in the country to make bail? Again, just fucking ridiculous nonsense.
We want peace through strength like we had it just 4 years ago. It's time to set and really what we have to do.
He did say OJ, right? KGS? I was going to say that, but I was like, there's no way he said OJ, right? Did he say LT and OJ? I mean, this guy just fucking is hitting it out of the park with this one. I mean, if they emptied out the prisons, it seems like they emptied out the prisons into fucking Trump's rally, if you really want to know.
We have to set high standards because this country has never been in a position like we're in right now. We're laughed at all over the world. Leaders that respected us 4 years ago are laughing at us. So it's time to set other differences aside and come together, get the job done for America. We're going to make America great again, and we're going to do it fast. And we're going to look at...
Right. I think that was why we're all wondering why he said OJ. I'm going to guess he meant a different OJ, unless he was talking about the deceased OJ that he used to play golf with, which I wouldn't put it by him because he's not very good at sharing his condolences. If you remember when Melania's mother died and he basically just fucking looked up to the rafters at whatever shitty auditorium he was in, thanking the fucking lights at the top of the room, basically calling her father very lonely. It was just one of the more awkward situations that's happened at a Trump rally, in my eyes.
Biden. I'm sure nobody ever saw The Apprentice. That was a big hit. That was a big, powerful hit. But I'm going to look at that guy and I'm going to say, Joe Biden, you're the worst ever. Joe Biden, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired. Get out of here, Joe. We're going to straighten out our country. We're not going to destroy it. He's destroying it. As you know,
again, look at, if you hold on, I'm going to make this bigger. Just want to make this bigger. If you look in the background, you can see where the water park that they're at is actually on fire. It's actually burning. If you look in the background, I know it's hard to see here, but beyond the Ferris wheel, beyond the big sign that says water park, beyond the big screens that they have put up, and beyond the 400 American flags and the people here that are in absolutely no danger whatsoever. If you look behind them, you will be able to see the remnants of what looks to be an artillery strike, just because things are so chaotic. I do believe a couple of rocket launchers may have hit this water park. Yep. That's what it is. Yep. People are actually tearing down that fucking Ferris wheel as Trump's speaking. It's just chaos. It's utter chaos. How they managed to set this up, I'll never know, because the country is going down so fast that I don't see how anybody could even waste time speaking at a fucking water park because it's so urgent. Right? You fucking idiot.
Summers at the Jersey Shore have always been a fixture of life for families all across the region. But thanks to the 50% Biden inflation tax, it's a new tax. 2 weeks ago, I was looking at inflation numbers. They're devastating. They're country busters. When you have inflation, it breaks countries. And I'm talking about 500 years ago.
So Viktor Orban must be fucking screwed, huh? Christ, his country must be fucked. Anyway, you were saying something about Viktor Orban saying that you were a good leader.
Oh, and 300 years ago. And they're country busters. And it's a tradition that you have here that's so incredible, but you're being busted by inflation.
Hot dog tax. Oh, man. Good place for a hot dog tax, too, the Jersey Shore, where Joey Chestnut sucks down hot dogs at a rapid rate. So he'd be fucking broke. Joey Chestnut ain't going to like that hot dog tax. I can tell you that much.
Everybody is all over the country. In the past 3 years, the average New Jersey family has lost $23,381 to the inflation tax. That's a hell of a lot. And frankly, they're using fake numbers because they don't include the worst numbers.
Oh, my Lanta. They're using fake numbers. But I was looking at the numbers. But they were fake numbers that I'm now going to recite as real numbers. Shanzi, how are you? Thank you so much for the $5. You're the best. Love you, peeps. Love you back. How's everybody doing? Margot, happy Mother's Day. How's everybody doing? Let's go. Anybody who's just arriving, I do appreciate it. Susan, how are you? Tracy Rowe, how are you? Welcome. Happy Mother's Day to all. Hope everybody's having a good day. MK Ilgor, let's go. I think I say your name different every single time. Lokera, there you are. What's going on? Hey, Mike, how are you? Joey doesn't have to address the gouging. That's true.
And the Biden price hikes are continuing to drain over $1,000 from the typical New Jersey family budget.
Amazing. He doesn't talk about the rise in pay, the pay increases that people have seen since Joe Biden has taken office, which clearly offset some of the inflationary financial issues that people have been faced with. All right, Alyosha, let's go. You take the time to write it. I'm going to take the time to read it. Live Trump announced via YouTube. Quote, I also want to say happy Mother's Day to all the moms in America, especially my wife, Melania. I'll be home in a little while, and we're also thinking about Melania's incredible mother who just passed away, referring to Amalia Navs, who died in January at age 78. One of the most beautiful women inside and out that I've ever known. She would want to say hello. Oh my God. Then pointing up at Travis, she's up there looking down right now. Oh, Jesus. Oh boy. He just never misses an opportunity to make himself look like a fucking asshole, huh? Never.
Single month, so it's $1,000. That's $12,000 for a family. Hot dogs. Let's talk about hot dogs. I just had one, actually.
You guys weren't kidding.
I just had one. It was very good. I hope it was.
You can tell he had one. You can tell he had one. I think. Yep. Nope. Is that a hot dog? Yeah. Was that a hot dog? I'm not sure. Could have been a. Yep. Maybe a hot dog. Here's the Trump solo. Yeah. Hot dogs. Hot dogs are good. Hot dogs are good.
I don't know. You know, it was very good. Frank Sinatra told me a long time ago, never eat before you perform. I said, I'm not performing. I'm a politician, if you can believe it. I hate to be called a politician. I'm a businessman much better.
Like, how do you critique this? As a political commentator doing a political podcast, covering the Republican nominee to become president of the United States of America, not talking about policy, not talking about what he's going to do to better this country if he were to get elected, but talking about his fucking encounters with Frank Sinatra, telling him never to eat hot dogs before he gets on fucking stage. What do I do with it? What do I do with that?
But I guess I'm a politician because we did great in 2016. We did much better in 2020, a lot better. We got millions more votes. So I guess, and this time, and I will say this, the spirit that we have this time blows both of them away. You know why? Because you're still like me, but you saw what the alternative is. The alternative, it's just.
Well, as I always say, the bulb burns brightest just before it burns out. And the deeper down this road we go, and the more people find out about your treachery, your treason, your disgusting, bigoted, misogynistic behavior, your stealing of top secret classified documents, and so on, the more that people that stick around you are going to be more fanatical. They're going to be more fervent, let's say. You know what I mean? So just because the people around you are yelling a little louder, just because they seem to be a little more, let's say, excited to you, doesn't mean much. Doesn't mean anything, really, because, as I said before, even Hitler had his direct, let's say, crew around him, even till the end. The most loyal, the most fanatical, the most crazy, the most, basically the people that loved him the most are the people that are going to stick around for the longest amount of time. Therefore, the people that love him the most are always going to be the most fanatical. So, again.
The alternative is not a good thing, but I just had the best hot dog, so I said, Frank, I'm sorry. Now,
is he talking to the hot dog? Frank? Hey, Frank. Yeah, fucking Frank, before I eat you and you slide out of my ass 12 hours from now, I just want to apologize for the stench and for the other fucking 19 cheeseburgers that you're about to go sit with. Don't worry. I fought about every 13 seconds, so it shouldn't take long for you to come out the other end, if you know what I'm saying. But Frank, I'm going to put a little ketchup, mustard, and relish on you. And then Frank told me not to go up on stage after I ate Frank, but that's okay.
Pavarotti was a good friend. He didn't have that.
Pavarotti was a good friend. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Is he going to say that Pavarotti ate hot dogs before he went on stage? Is this what's about to happen?
Same. He ate all the time. He didn't care. But I just had a hot.
This is now, what, 3 minutes on his fucking hot dog?
Have that same. He ate all the time. He didn't care. But I just had a hot dog, and it was very good. So the price of hot dogs up 22%. Chicken's up 32%. Hamburgers are up 37%. That's why I had the hot dog. It went up the least.
So you're cheap. Why are you cheap? Are you broke? Is there another reason that you need to be, let's say, frugal with your money? Is there another outstanding debt that you may owe somewhere, let's say, in the hundreds of millions of dollars, which may be why you're choosing the cheaper hot dog rather than the more expensive hamburger? Just, I'm curious. There's got to be a reason, because if you're a billionaire, you're not gonna. It's not fucking matter that the hot dog's cheaper, right? Unless you just have a thing for hot dogs.
Soda's up 30%. Eggs are up 50%. Gasoline's up 50%. Bacon is up 79%. Bacon. That's why I don't have bacon anymore. It's too expensive. Not one thing is cheaper. There's not one thing anywhere. There's not one item that's cheaper. Energy is way up. That's what caused.
You know what's cheaper? Your books, your merchandise, your NFTs, anything that has your name on it. Your buildings are now worth less. That's less. That's less.
What's the problem? You had low energy. You had energy at $1.87. Now it's up to almost $4 again, and it's going.
If you guys, everybody in the country, just stops driving today. If nobody goes anywhere, we can get that price back down to $1.87. All you got to do is be sick in your home, be locked up and quarantined, and not be allowed to work, go to sporting events, bowling alleys, theaters, concerts, anything like that. If we do that, we can get the gas lowered back down to where Trump had it.
Up higher. In California, it's got just hit $7.21 today. Some place was ripping you off. And if you're young and looking to buy a home, the 30-year.
Just curious where that $7 price came from, because I'm in California currently right now, and although the price is high compared to the rest of the country, I haven't seen anywhere near $7. High fours, fives, high fives I have seen, admittedly. But again, because of California and their fuel tax, and the different way they go about things in California, really doesn't pertain to the rest of the country. Because when I left Boston, the gas prices were right around, I want to say $2.93, maybe a little above $3, somewhere in that area.
Your mortgage rate is almost at 8%. When I left office, it was 2.6%. 2.6, a little different. The choice for New Jersey and Pennsylvania is simple. If you want lower costs, higher income, and more weekends down at the shore, let's go down at the shore. Of course, it always depends on who the hell is there, right? The wrong people are there. You don't want to go down to the shore, but you have the right people. But we love this shore. I know this shore better than most of the people that are here. I hate it.
How do you know everything better than the people that are actually from there? Not that there's probably many people from New Jersey there, because as we all know, a significant portion of the people that attend Trump's rallies follow him from spot to spot, from state to state, and are the same group of people that you'll see at every fucking Trump rally. So a significant portion of these people aren't just spontaneously drawn to Trump's rally in the position that they're in. And again, being at a water park, I don't know if it was open or closed, but you'd have to assume that some people just wandered in out of curiosity as well. That happened to be roaming around the water park, because let's face it, if the former president, ex-president of the United States of America is speaking, regardless if he's an asshole or not, it's an event. You know what I mean? So if you're walking around the water park, you see Secret Service, you see planes, you see this, you see that. Chances are you're going to pop in and say, okay, what the fuck is all this about? Which is exactly why in some of the videos I've seen, you've seen the majority of the crowd leaving as Donald Trump is still speaking, because they don't actually give a shit. They're not actually there to see Donald Trump speak. They want to see the hubbub. They want to see the fanfare. They want to see what the fuck's going on. If not, been directly paid to go see him speak.
There's nothing like it. It's one of the best, but you have to vote. If you want to keep it going, you have to vote for
Joe Biden. Vote for Joe Biden. As I said in my Twitter post, I'm Brian. I'm 38 years old. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. And because I care about my aunts, my nieces, all of my cousins, anybody in my family that is a woman, and anybody in your family that is a woman, I care about their right to control their own bodies. I care about their right to proper health care, regardless of what fucking state they live in or what state they may live in. Okay? Because I worry about that, and because I care about my family as well as your family, I myself will be voting for Joe Biden come November. I don't think there is any other option in this race. There is no other option. It is either voting for the rights of women. It is either voting for democracy. It is either voting to denounce and finally get rid of MAGA once and for fucking all, or you are voting for Donald Trump to completely take over this country, to completely change elections in any way, shape, or form he sees fit, to completely change NATO in any way, shape, or form he sees fit, to completely leave our allies stranded on the world stage in any way he sees fit if they are not fucking fully paid up like some fucking sick tenants in one of his buildings that are late on their rent and are going to be thrown out on their ass. That's not how NATO works. That's not how fucking Homie plays that, okay? So if you care about those things, if you care about women, if you care about democracy, if you care about elections, if you care about the United States in our world, in our standing on the world stage, if you care about the United States upholding its you know, what do you call it? When we tell a country that we're going to stand by them, when we tell a country that if you give up your nuclear weapons, that we will protect you against a madman, a tyrannical dictator that may invade your sovereign nation and kill men, women, and children by the thousands, and send missiles and send bombs and drones into schools, into public areas that have no fucking military installations, that have no fucking strategic basis whatsoever for that. We need you to vote for Joe Biden. If you sit out, if you vote for a third party candidate, you are fucking directly casting a vote for Donald fucking Trump. Period. End of fucking story. And if you don't vote for Joe Biden and you vote for anybody else, you are directly casting a vote to put the people of Ukraine at the mercy of fucking Vladimir Putin with no assistance, possibly.
a gentleman named Donald J. Trump. Have you heard of him? Have you heard of him? Thank you. You know, you can't even see the back. There's so many people here. There's so many people here. Man, over 100,000 people. This is supposed to be
bull fucking shit. Do I have a fucking bullshit? Hold on. I don't care if it's taking longer. I don't care if it's not going to be on time. There's got to be something. Do I have a bullshit? There's got to be a fucking bullshit. I need something that says bull fucking shit is what I need a drop to say, because that is just fucking ridiculous. Let's see here. Let's see if I can show you what 100,000 people actually looks like. Let's see. Michigan, big house. Okay. Just for a quick reference, just in case you are wondering how many people were there. This stadium here, I'm about to show you a picture of, if I may. How do I make this bigger? Here we go. This stadium right here holds 107,000 people, as you can see. Okay. 107,000 people. Okay. Now, if you think that when I go back to Trump's speech, that it looks like anywhere near 100,000 fucking people, then I myself will call your eye doctor to schedule your fucking appointment. Because that is insane. And again, I'm not saying there are not a lot of people there. I'm not saying there's not too many people there for my liking, because there are, regardless of why they're there. I don't think anybody should be standing in front of this motherfucker. Again, I think he should be talking to himself in 2 fucking teleprompters, and that's about it. But it's a blatant fucking lie, like his inauguration lie, like his every other fucking number that he's, statistically back numbers that he's had to lie about in any one of his rallies. It's just fucking totally made up. It's all there is to it. It's totally fucking made up.
They thought they'd hit 40. So they more than doubled it, but you can't even see the end. I wish we didn't have the press here. I wish we moved them the hell back so they'd have, because they can't see in the back. I always tell the press, turn.
Why would you tell the press that?
Your cameras around to show the audience, okay? They never do it. Look, fake news. They never do it. They never do it.
Really?
They're saying turn around. It is true. It's I don't know why. Even the ones that are sort of like friendly to me, there aren't too many. I'd say about 7 or 8%. But they're good. They're believers. But they never turn around. And I'd love them to show the crowd as far as the eye can see. I'd love them to show, but they don't do it. And I used to think it was a mechanical problem. They have the best cameras in the world. They have the tripods, everything's. And I figured the steel,
Then there was a fight. There was a fight at one of the rallies in the farthest, deepest, darkest corner of the auditorium, and those cameras spun around like they were pretzels and snakes and shit.
Can't do it. But then I realized early in the campaign in 2016, I realized there was a fight in the back. It was a bad fight. Somebody got into a fight way in the back, and those cameras turned around like a pretzel.
And I called that one. Thank you.
Because they wanted to show the fight, because that meant trouble. That was a bad thing. So those same cameras that you're looking at, they were turned into a pretzel. They showed that fight in detail.
Bye, Beth. Have a good day. Happy Mother's Day, if that pertains to you. I hope you have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for joining us today. Again, I know Sundays in the middle of the day. Again, we might have to rethink the time, but anybody that has made it here for all of the episodes, I do appreciate it. Again, anybody that has suggestions on maybe time changes or what might be better, might be best, or maybe adding another day, if that's something you guys would be into, feel free to leave a comment on this video on YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or Instagram, either one of those. Just let me know. All right. Appreciate it.
They showed every blow to the face. They showed
every blow to the face, huh?
So I realized that wasn't the reason. They just don't want to do it. I can't figure it out. Here in New Jersey, you're suffering under some of the highest property taxes and sales taxes in the nation. Just about the highest. And now Crooked Joe wants to massively raise your income taxes, promising that the Trump tax cut. So I got you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country, bigger than the Reagan tax cuts years before. But they want to cut the Trump. He wants to get rid of the Trump tax cuts. Now they expire. So instead of just renewing them, he says, go.
That's a great idea, Mel. Great idea. Mel says we're donating all merch sales today to the GoFundMe set up to help Suzanne. Grab any shirt on the site and help someone at the same time. It's a win-win. And then she posts the link to getdemshirts.myshopify.com. So again, great idea. If we can sell merch to help people. Again, we're not here to get rich. We're not here to buy yachts and to go to fancy islands and Bahamas trips and shit like that. We want to help people. And again, the Ukraine stuff on that site, all the profit gets donated to the United 24. And as Mel's saying here, all merch sales today will go to the GoFundMe to help Suzanne. So a good cause, some good merch, and you can feel good about, spending your money and knowing that it's going to a good spot. So I do appreciate it. Good job, Mel. Good idea.
Going to expire, and if I'm reelected, he doesn't even know what the hell he's saying. Don't forget, he can't put two sentences together. He can't find the stairs off a stage. Let's see this.
And I'm having all the trouble in the world trying to beat this man. Again, it makes no sense. Like Don Jr. talking about free speech as he speaks in Canada to an auditorium. Donald Trump here saying that Joe Biden can't do shit, yet somehow is beating him in the polls, yet somehow beat him in 2020, yet somehow is whooping his ass, not only messaging, not only with his policies, not only with the American people, but in every fucking poll that has recently come out that shows Joe Biden on an upward trend and Donald Trump on a downward trend. So how do you put that in your pocket? How do you put that in your fucking pipe and smoke that shit, MAGA? I'd like to know.
States when I'm finished. I got stairs there. I got stairs there. I got a nice ramp there. I got stairs there. And if it got really dangerous.
Kim Proud Dem, thanks to everyone who donates. It is literally the difference between homeless and housed. I mean, if there's ever something to let you know how important it is, groups of people like you find people on YouTube and the difference that you guys can actually make when you bond together, whether it be in my chat, whether it be in Hal's chat, Midas Touch, Tony Michaels, whether you're listening to Stephanie Miller, whether it's whoever you might be listening to, wherever you might be congregating at that time, we can bond together. We can link up to help people. And not only to help people, but to help this country. Do you know what I mean? We can link up. This is what we're doing here. We're just linking up, calling bullshit out, calling out Republicans, letting people know that if you want this country to move forward, if you want this country to progress, then voting for Democrats is the only way to get that done. They may not be perfect. They are not perfect. We are not perfect. Many fucking things that we need to work on. Many things that I would like Joe Biden to do differently. Many ways in which I would like foreign policy to be handled differently. But I am not going to sacrifice the rights of women, elections in this country, and everything that this country was built off and built on because I am mad at Joe Biden or I disagree with Joe Biden over some of his fucking policies. I'm sorry. To be comfortable enough to sit back in a fucking chair in your home and be comfortable enough to say that, I don't like what Biden did here. I don't like what Biden did here. I think I may vote for somebody else. Then you are fucking delusional and you have to sit back and realize, why are you so comfortable? Okay? Because when Donald Trump was president, you didn't have that fucking comfort. You weren't sitting back thinking about, what you were fucking on the edge of your chair every fucking second wondering what's going to come out of that guy's mouth. What's going to happen as far as foreign policy? What is the Supreme Court going to do to take away the rights of women? But now you're sitting back like, things are good, but I don't like how Joe Biden did this. Or, I'm making more money at my job now. More people are employed. The stock market is higher. People aren't dying of fucking COVID by the hundreds of thousands. But I don't like how Joe Biden is dealing with Bibi Netanyahu. Or I don't like how Joe Biden only got rid of some of student debt and not all of it. Or I don't like that he got rid of student debt at all. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Because what that means is you're comfortable. That means you're in a comfortable enough position to actually sit and nitpick the president of the United States on policies that are far less egregious than anything that would happen if Donald Trump got his fucking fat ass back into that fucking White House. What would happen to fucking Gaza? What would happen to women's rights? What would happen to fucking the free press in this country? These are huge fucking issues. Okay? Huge fucking issues. And again, Donald Trump is not somebody that's going to be swayed by the word or the actions of the American people, okay? Donald Trump thinks something, he's gonna fucking think it unless somebody in his party who is even crazier than he is gets into his fucking skull. Joe Biden at least will listen to the American people if we have gripes, if we have issues, if we don't like something he's doing. It may take longer, it may take a little bit, but we can get through to that bastard. Okay, Joe Biden will listen to whether or not people are voting in Minnesota for him. Why are they not voting? Okay, maybe there's something about my policies that I should change to better incorporate what my party is feeling, to what the people in my party want. So anything other than a vote for Joe Biden, you can go fuck yourself. And I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Here is I could jump off the front. There's nice sand. You ever see him when he's finished? He finishes the speech, which usually lasts about a minute and a half. And he always goes like this. And then he doesn't know where he goes. But, you know, we have great people, Secret Service. They always run up on the stage and they lead him off the stage. They're great. But he wants to let our tax cuts expire. And I don't do that anymore. You know, I don't imitate him anymore.
When he says tax cuts, make sure that you know he's talking about the permanent, not the permanent tax cuts that he gave to the rich people in this country, but the tax cuts to the middle class and the lower portions of the financial brackets that were set to expire and that have horrendous fucking ramifications attached to them. There's a reason that Joe Biden is not going to just re-up Donald Trump's ridiculous fucking tax breaks for everybody else. And you can read more into that if you want, but all you have to know is that the tax breaks for the fucking people, the wealthy people in this country were permanent and ours were not.
Anymore, because I called my wife, our great First Lady, and I said, First Lady, we had a big speech. By the way, not as many people as this. This is like big record stuff on television. Even on the haters, they said this may be the biggest rally they've ever seen, political rally. But I called our First Lady. I said, so. It's a lot of people. Hey, look, Superman is up. We have Uncle Sam. We have Superman. I said, First Lady, how good was that? I made a nice speech, one big crowd. I said, and it's all over television. Look at all that press. Look at all of them. So it's all over television. So I said, First Lady, how great a speech was that? Who else is drawing like that? Nobody can draw crowds like that. How great was I? She said, you were okay. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
I said, why? What's wrong? Well, you couldn't find your way off the stage. So I was imitating him.
And what you're saying is that your wife isn't smart enough to recognize when you're doing an imitation. Is that where we're going with this? What you're doing is your wife, who hasn't been on the campaign trail with you since it began, who has basically refused in any way to show up beside you in any way, shape, or form in any of your court cases, is now too stupid to realize when you're doing an impression. So you're putting her in the same category as the fake news media that you call. That's good. I'm sure. I don't know why she doesn't like you. I don't know why she doesn't accompany you more to these speeches in which you demean and degrade her at every chance possible.
And they said I couldn't find my way off. That's what happened. So I have to be very careful. I'm doing the imitation.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that she was too stupid to notice that you were doing an imitation. It's that she watches all these news networks that you don't like. And that's where she got the coverage of your speeches from. Instead of just watching your speeches, she was getting the coverage back from CNN? Is that what's going on? Because none of this is making any sense to me, buddy.
Around, and the fake news said Trump could not find his way up. So I don't do that anymore. I just do a modified version. I do a very modified version. That happens a lot with the fake news. You know, that's why they call them the fake news. But that means that under Biden, the average New Jersey worker will see a tax increase of just on this. Now, I've already gone through 2 tax increases, but you have another one. Add on to what I just said with the inflation tax, because that's a real tax. $2,700 per year at a time when 73% of Americans are living from paycheck to paycheck, which is a record. Never had that many people. But think of it. Oh, I wonder who that might be. Oh, that's Joe Biden. He doesn't want to land.
He's just not even funny at all.
Oh, that's Joe Biden. He doesn't want to land. No, we're going to win New Jersey.
What does that even mean? What does that mean? What is that supposed to, what is the joke there? What, the plane flies by, it's Joe Biden, he doesn't want to land. Why? Why wouldn't he want to land?
We're going to win New Jersey. No, if we win New Jersey, we win the whole thing. I think we're going to win some others also.
I mean, I'm no superior judge of crowd sizes, but this sounds and looks a lot more along the lines of, the actual crowd size at his rally. Just from the pictures that I've saw, the overhead shots, I think a couple from his plane, some maybe from another, showing the crowd, and I would say my guesstimate would be somewhere in the 15 to 20,000 range. And again, a lot of those are the people that follow him around. A lot of those will be people from the park that are curious, and then what's left are the crazy MAGAs that are from the area. Again, New Jersey, the surrounding states, New York City. I'm sure there were people from all over that are dying to see this man in some way, shape, or form, that like him, that are not from New Jersey, that have made the trip there, just like the Front Row Joes. And what are the other ones there? The fucking what are the other people that follow him around the whole time? Asshole. Yep, the assholes, those ones. Yep.
Actually, if Joe Biden wins this election, the middle class loses, and New Jersey loses. But if Trump wins, the middle class wins, the people of low income really start winning again, and you're all going for the American dream. New Jersey.
Is this a guess? So I guess I probably should ask. How many do you guys think were at this rally? Legit. Let's not try to make it less to make him seem to try to benefit us in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, I have no problem saying that there are still far too fucking many people listening to this asshole. Okay? I have no problem saying that. But what do you think was the actual size of the rally? Let's see if I can get some answers here. Let's see. 5,000 was Kath's first guess. 7,000, 8,000, 5,000, 7,000. Joy says 12,500. Lisa says 3,000. Kim around 8,000. Trucker John says around 9,000. So I think we're all in the ballpark. Fire Marshal counted 12,680, Jim the Geek says. So, like I said, the 15,000, around the 15,000 mark was probably spot on. Where is this coming from, Jim, if you don't mind me asking? Is this published in an article, or did the Fire Marshal come out and kind of have to because again, if we another part that we don't think about this is the people that may get in trouble for having too many people there. Like, there are people on the hook that are there that are responsible to the fire marshal, security, to make sure that not over a certain amount of people are in a certain spot because the bathrooms can't handle it, or the food vendors can't handle it, or if there's an emergency, what the exits can handle. So Donald Trump saying that there's 100,000 people, I don't think he knows that a lot of people are going to have to answer for this. A lot of people are going to have to be questioned. Okay, how many people were actually there? If so, why were there that many people allowed in? So I wouldn't be surprised if the fire marshal did come out in an article or on the news or something like that and actually state, okay, listen, nowhere near 100,000 fucking people came in. If they did, it would be my ass. This is how many I actually counted. I think that would make sense to me. But yeah, I think we're all in the same We're like, take any number Trump says and divide by 10. It's actually not a bad fucking take, Steve. Not a bad idea. Probably be a lot closer to the truth than Donald Trump is if you do that. All right, yeah, 15,000, 10 to 15,000 carry. Yep, I think we're all in the same boat there. So he's roughly 85,000 people short of having 100,000 people there, which, you know, in Donald Trump's mind, where he takes 7-foot putts as gimmies, you can see how he makes sense of that.
He wins, Pennsylvania wins, America wins. We have a lot of people.
Didn't he say never putt uphill? Did he say never putt uphill? Never putt uphill, me boys. No, it was.
People, who's from Pennsylvania? Who's from? Yeah, a lot of people. I went to school in Pennsylvania. Of course, you know, it's never quite the same when you're looking because he's lost control. My beautiful school. They're rioting in front of my school all the time. What's going on here? Instead of a Biden tax hike, I'll give you a Trump middle class, upper class, lower class, business class, big tax cut. You're going to have the biggest tax cut.
It's just a dictator's playbook, step by fucking step, okay? Just offer you tax cuts without any way of telling you how I'm going to pay for them, where the money's going to come from, how that may affect our fucking, economy. Basically, just offer you bread, food, work, so you can make money, and a place to stay, right? From the fucking dawn of time, anybody with an authoritarian point of view, with a fucking dictatorial policy. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you for the 20. That's fucking very nice of you. Thank you so much. And happy Mother's Day if that applies. Thank you. But yeah, so again, Joe Stalin, Hitler, what do they offer their people? Peace, bread, work. All you got to do. No explanations. Really simple solutions to really complex issues is what you always have to look out for, right? So again, complex issue, inflation, why that's happening. Happened after COVID. You look at the supply chain. You look at companies that shut down, different corporations and companies getting their food from different places. Now it has to be shipped longer. Now it has to be paid more for that shipping. The whole thing is very complicated. Not easy to explain, not easy to just pinpoint one single thing that has had the most effect on it. So when you offer just blatant, over-the-top, wide-ranging, everybody gets one tax breaks and tax cuts without explaining where they're fucking coming from, isn't he? So how in one is he going to complain about the debt again and then talk about how many tax breaks he'd like to give everybody in this country? Because you can't have it fucking both ways. You can't do it. You can't have it both ways. You can't give everybody tax breaks and fix the roads and bridges. You can't get everybody tax breaks and fund all the government supplemental things that we need to fund. That's just not how it fucking works.
And we were set to do that. We were all set to do it. You know, it's interesting. When we did the tax cuts, everyone said you can't do those tax cuts. We took in more income after the tax cut. And
I'm going to let this play for a second. I just have to go blow my nose. I'll be right back. Not that you needed to know that, but I just want to be honest with you. I'll be right back.
Tax cut was massive. Everybody here knows it because everybody was affected by it. It created jobs, but almost more obviously, it was just a great cut. But at the end of the year, the country took in much more money. It's sort of amazing. In other words, people individually paid much less tax, but we did much more revenue. So it really does work. You know, it's called incentive. And the Biden economic bust will quickly be replaced with a brand new Trump economic boom. We're going to have another boom like we had. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We had the greatest economy. You know, there's never been a time with jobs better than we had pre-COVID. And then when COVID ended, and we did a lot to end it, we did things, therapeutics, we did things that nobody else thought were even possible. And when it ended, you call that a bounce back. Everyone immediately then goes back to their job or they get a new job, but you have a big bounce back. Well, we get credit for that bounce back. He doesn't get credit. He likes to take credit for the bounce back, but he doesn't really know what it means. Somebody wrote it for him, but he wants to take credit. We had a tremendous bounce back, and it was a beautiful thing to see. People went back to work. We had that damn dust coming in from China, the China virus, and it was a disgrace. I mean, frankly, what happened to this world, the entire world, $52 trillion and millions of people died all over the world. And what a shame. I mean, frankly, what happened to this world, the entire world, $52 trillion and millions of people died all over the world. And what a shame. But we handled it about as well, I would say, as any country in the world. And we bounced back for a lot of different reasons, and we bounced back well. On day one, we will throw out Bidenomics, and we will reinstate Maganomics. And we're going to bring manufacturing, tourism, and other industry back to New Jersey like it's never seen before. We were doing it, and we did it. There's never been a better time. Actually, your governor told me that. They've never had a better time than the 3 years just prior to COVID. And then after COVID, the recovery was so incredible. We never had a better economy in this country. The history of our country.
I know. But it's funny to me that he can still talk about the it's fucking ridiculous. It really is.
So incredible. We never had a better economy in this country. The history of our country.
False. Wrong. Incorrect. Lies. Not real. Not the truth. Made up. Again, the economy now far better off, far stronger, far more resilient. And again, when Donald Trump talks about Joe Biden and his presidency and his economy was riding on the fumes, is riding on the fumes. That's why it's doing so well. It's only riding on the fumes of mine, which means that you were what? Riding on the fumes of Obama's administration for the first 2 years. So in reality, all we can do is take that third year in which you started to drive this economy down as your record on how you did on the economy. Because we all know what happened once COVID took over. We all saw what happened to the economy when that happened, when the president of the United States didn't take COVID seriously, one of the worst pandemics that this fucking world has ever seen, one of the most disruptive and dislodging fucking diseases and just worldwide spreading illnesses that has taken part in any of our lives. The most important decision in his fucking presidency is how he was going to handle and how he was going to respond to COVID. And he fucking failed miserably. He threw away the playbook that the Obama administration left for him just in case, just fucking in case something like this were to happen. And what did he do? Didn't follow it. Didn't listen to it. And we're fucking paying the price still to this day.
Then it was during my 4 years as president. And we're going to do something. I think we're going to beat it. Now, we have a lot of work to do. We got to do something about the fact that 20 million people have come into our country from prisons, from jails, from mental institutions, from insane asylums. And they're terrorists. Many are terrorists. Other than that, I think they're actually quite a fine group of people.
Thank you, Jerry. I love listening to you, Brian, and Hal Sparks. Saved my life. Thank you very much. That is awesome. I do appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support. And I'm just very glad that I am in any way able to, again, make your day a little better, make it a little easier to stomach this bullshit, a little bit easier to know what the other side is talking about and what they plan on doing, because that's why we do this. None of this is fun for us. Let's see. Mel says she posted the venue capacity. Let's see. Let's go back just a sec here. Oh, here you go. Capacity for the event is capped at 20,000. Wildwood spokesperson Lisa Fagan previously said some local officials, including Mayor Ernie Triano Jr., said up to 40,000 people could attend. So that was beforehand. The event is capped at 20, but double that number would have been allowed. And again, as you can see from the aerial shots, the whole area isn't full. So even if 40,000, let's say, could have attended that, it's nowhere near that either, because we can tell that fucking the space is empty in the back in most of the spots. So less than 20,000 people. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate that. Appreciate you digging that up.
We're going to stop the Biden spending spree. He spends on things like the Green New Scam. We're going to halt his inflation death spiral. Think of it, one of the greatest inflations ever in history. If you were making more money, it doesn't matter, because yet you were taxed at 50%.
Quote, and this is a direct quote from the ex-president of the United States of America, one of the best inflations
ever in history. If you were making more, think of it, one of the greatest inflations ever in history.
One of the greatest inflations ever in history. What the fuck does that mean? What in the fuck does that mean?
If you were making more money, it doesn't matter, because yet you were taxed at 50%. You got to make over that in order to pick up. That's why people are hearing, oh, our economy, his job numbers are fake. They're totally fake. They're fixed numbers. They're rigged numbers. Everything about them are rigged, from the elections to the economy, everything. And by the way, the one thing that's doing well is the stock market. You know?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And has been continuously under Joe Biden. And if he is about to fucking say, I can already feel it coming. I can already feel it coming. Is he about to say the same shit he said at court this week, where that the stock market is only doing well because people believe that he's going to be elected, and that when it's not doing well, it's because a bad poll has come out saying that Donald Trump is not going to be president? Is that what we're about to hear here? Is that what's going on? Edward Cooley, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you, man, for becoming a member. Huge help. Honestly, the best way to help this channel is to become a channel member. Again, less than a candy bar. You will pay more for a candy bar right now than it will cost you for a month of a membership to this channel. I just want to make that known. This is nothing. It's not $25 a month. It's not $100 a month. It's not. It's literally $2.99. And I believe king size fucking Snickers is going to run you about $3-4 nowadays. Don't tell me no sound, Diana. Good God. You guys are just going to scare me every time. Every time you say no sound, I'm just going to freak the fuck out now, because I got a mute button and I didn't have one on my last microphone. So I'm always going to forget to fucking do it. I know it. I know I'm going to forget to press it. But hopefully you guys can hear me and I'm not talking to myself. Yeah, that's like a jump scare. No sound, and I'm gonna fucking automatically be like, what? What'd I do? But that's okay. But yes, less than a fucking king-size Snickers or king-size Reese's per month can help you build this channel, grow and make our equipment better, make it so I'm not blurry, make it so I can always have Wi-Fi. I'm sure there's a machine that I can buy or some sort of fucking setup that I can have to make sure that my Wi-Fi is always as good as possible. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. Like hell, by the way, audio is great. Thank you, Carl. I thought so too. I think this microphone is a lot better than the microphone that I have at my house in Boston right now. It just sounds a lot better. It sounds a lot less tinny, a lot more clear, not crackling and stuff. So I'm going to be taking this one home with me, and hopefully the good sound carries on to my Snickers. It's a Snickers. Thank you, Skullsaw9, for the super sticker. I do appreciate you, brother. Yes, Kelly, that's how you spell it. It's a Snickers. Why? How do you say it? And yes, Mel, absolutely. Thank you to everybody buying merch to support Suzanne. You guys are fucking amazing. Again, wear this shit proudly. Wear it fucking proudly to the gym, to the supermarket, to fucking wherever it is you go, wherever it is you spend your fucking time. Wear this shit proudly. Pro-Dem merch, whether it's the mental health related T-shirts that we have there. Be proud. Be proud of the what makes you you. Okay, even though people may not be able to see what's going on on the inside, people are struggling, and it doesn't show on the outside. So this is a great way for you to show people, listen, not only do I know what you're going through, I go through that same shit, and you're not alone. Okay? No, Mark, you're fucking killing me. Stop it. I'm not muted. I am not muted. Please stop it. I'm not muted. But Wu-Tang is forever. So let's go. But yeah, again, like I said, just wear it with pride. Show these people, like my shirt here, fucking love it. Stop pretending your racism is patriotism, right? Because that's what these people do. These people think that because they're racist comments, they're bigoted, hateful fucking comments, are somehow attributed to the word patriotism in MAGA, in fucking American flags, that somehow makes them a great patriot in this country, and that they are what fucking the founding fathers envisioned for people that were going to defend our nation. Not the fucking brave men and women that go over and put on a uniform for this country and risk their fucking lives and lose their freedom and lose their daily fucking privileges in this country to go over to a shithole, dusty, fucking wretched place to defend our fucking freedom. All right? Not those people. Not the brave men and women in our fucking armed forces who every day have our back, who every day make it possible that I could do a fucking show like this. Okay, that anybody on YouTube could do their fucking show. It's not going to be them. It's going to be the people that spew racist bullshit and fucking election denialism on Twitter. That's who these people think are patriots nowadays. So again, go fuck yourself if you're one of those. And thank you, Greg R, for becoming a new channel member. Thank you to everybody becoming a new channel member. Anybody that's donated, gave a super chat, became a Patreon member, subscribed, liked, shared. Any one of those things that you do helps this channel and helps the people that watch this channel to get it out there. Again, hopefully I don't look like I have Vaseline on the camera. Again, it's a brand new fucking camera, expensive camera too, I might fucking add. So hopefully when I get home, that settles itself out and looks good if it does not at this place. All right, let's get through a little more. I know I'm over and I'm fucking sorry. I'm a terrible person. It's Mother's Day. I'm only going to do a few more minutes because I'm not going to take up Mel's day because that's just not what I'm going to do, because today's day is about you guys and it is not about me, but I just want to get through just a little bit more of this, just a little bit more. So thank you guys for being patient. I appreciate you guys hanging with me.
Why it's doing well? Because I'm leading in every single poll, and people think we're going to win. And the stock market, and it's been written about.
And I just would like to say that being in SoCal, Southern California, I have not seen one. Nope. Not one illegal alien have I seen since I've been here. I think I got here 9 days ago, and not one illegal alien. Not one. But I have seen a little bit of. Because there's a nuclear facility just down the street. I'm not sure if they have. But I'm assuming they do.
Scott, some of the great people they're writing that.
Hold on.
If we ever lost, if this election
was. Phone. My son is sick today, so I'm hanging with my mommy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope he feels better. If there's anything I could possibly do, if he needs any, medicine sent or whatever, let me know. If there's anything we can do to make his day a little better, I do appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being in the chat, and I hope he feels better.
Was it won by us? You'd see something like in 1929. The stock market's only doing well because everyone thinks we're going to win. We had a great stock market, but it's going up because we're leading in all the polls. If bad polls start coming and we don't want to let that happen, they're trying to rig the vote through this crap they're doing, but it's backfired. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. I'm more popular now than I've ever been. Can you believe it? They rigged the whole thing.
All right. Yes, the shock market. The shock value of the shock market, Adam, in the stock market that goes on your feet is also Wait, was he talking about that? No. But let's just for a second, he says he's more popular than he's ever been. Okay? The man that won in 2016 with what, 96, 95, 96% of the vote. Let's just see if I can do this. And then I'm going to do this. And I hope this is the right screen that I'm supposed to be showing. Just to make sure you can see it. I'm going to make it big. That way you can see it. And then I'm going to go here. What's that say here? Can anybody just want to... What's that say? Nikki Haley, no longer running for president of the United States, not even in the race, somehow managed to get 21.7%, over 125,000 votes in Indiana for Nikki Haley. I'm going to go ahead and say that does not bode well for Donald Trump in the upcoming election, nor does it bode well for Republicans in general in any of the upcoming elections. So, sorry, not sorry.
With the Department of Justice, and every time I've been indicted more than the great Alphonse Capone, Scarface.
And I do believe him, right? I think Trump won with it was over 90% of the Republican vote in 2016. So that's popular. Let's just be real. Let's speak facts. Let's be real. Let's not try to sugarcoat it. That is fucking popular. Kind of like the numbers that Joe Biden is getting in the Democratic primaries around the country. 90, 93, 95, 97. That's fucking popular. Not so much when the person that is no longer running against you, that has already dropped out of the race, somehow manages to get over 125,000 votes in Indiana. Just saying.
Al Capone was so mean that if you went to dinner with him and he didn't like you, you'd be dead the next morning. And I got indicted more than him on bullshit, too. Just bullshit. Mother was great. They had a great marriage, married for many years. That's one thing. I can't beat him on that one. He was married for a long time, but they're looking down now. They're up there in heaven, definitely in heaven. He was married for many years. That's one thing. I had a father.
I have a feeling this is going to be the Melania moment that Alyosha was referencing. Just have a feeling.
My father's looking down. I had a father who was great. My mother was great. They had a great marriage, married for many years. That's one thing. I can't beat him on that one. He was married for a long time, but they're looking down now. They're up there.
Are you saying you're not good at marriages? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying you're not really the relationship type of guy? Is that what I'm getting? Are you telling me that a man that spent 20 plus years with lives fucking minutes away from several of the properties of Jeffrey Epstein was, on his plane at least, I can say several times that we know of? Are you telling me that man may not be marriage material? He's not going to be a good husband? Is that what you're saying? Does Melania know this? Melania must know this. That's why she's not at the fucking rallies. And that's why she's not at any of your court cases, huh? Because she doesn't have to want to hear about all the times that you weren't a good husband to make her look like an asshole.
In heaven, definitely in heaven. And he's looking down.
Definitely in heaven. He had to second guess that one. I think he thought about his father on that one. Right? Come on. They're definitely in heaven. Well, my mom is. My father is possibly could have got lost and made his way up there, I guess. But my mom's definitely in heaven, at least.
He said, how the hell did my son be placed in that kind of company? But it's okay, because the people of this country know it. We're doing great. We've never done better. People understand it. People, normally that would be a negative, but for us it's a positive, because people, they get it. They need to do that in order to win, because they've done nothing else. They have a bad everything about them. Think of one thing that's better. You look at the Afghanistan disaster, you look at the border, you look at the economy.
What is an Afghanistan disaster? Can anybody please explain to me what is a disaster?
That's better. You look at the Afghanistan disaster, you look at
It was a disaster. Not so much a disaster, but definitely a disaster.
about them. Think of one thing that's better. You look at the Afghanistan disaster, you look at the border, you look at the economy, the real economy, not the fake economy.
The real economy, not the fake economy. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck is the fake economy? Oh, so basically any good news, right? So any news coming out that the stock market's doing well, I'm assuming is what he's taking as fake news about the economy? Is that what I'm getting out of that? I'm not really sure. And it was funny too because Mel and I were talking about it where she was reading one of his posts that somebody had posted and it made absolutely no fucking sense, right? But I actually understood like what he was trying to say. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of have like the mindset of like these MAGA people where it's like, all right, us reading that shit, one of us in the chat, smart people, educated, democracy loving, voting for Joe Biden people would look at that and say, what the fuck does that mean? What are those words in that order together with no punctuation and all capitalized? What the fuck does that mean? Because I learned English, I learned grammar, and that is not what that is. So, but when I look at it, being somebody that's listened to the man, you know, looked at his fucking posts over the years and shit, I actually can fill in the blanks between the bullshit and actually know what he's like trying to get at. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's what his followers do. So they know it doesn't make sense, but they kind of know, you know, basically how people on the news have been doing since he got into office, right? So what did you hear a lot when Donald Trump first got into office? You heard, well, he said that, but that's not what he meant. What he really meant was this, or that may have been what he said, but it shouldn't have come out that way. He's not actually talking about that or actually talking about doing that. What he really means or what he's really trying to say is this, right? So I've kind of gotten to that mindset or that, you know, just talking to him so long. Yeah, the interpretation, basically how to interpret him. Exactly. Parable. But it, you know, not everybody has that. So they look at someone and it's just crazy. But the more you look at it, the more you understand, okay, this is what he's trying to say. And it almost normalizes to some way the bullshit and the fucking sundowning and the nonsensical rants that he has. So I think that's why we look at these magas and we're like, how the fuck can you look at this shit and what he's saying and follow it and even understand it? And I think that's how they do it. You know what I mean? They kind of have to, it's like a fucking, it's like a choose your own ending book. Remember those? Where it was like, okay, if you want the fucking car to go off the ledge, turn to page 37. If you want the car to stay on the street and everybody to live, turn to page 42 or something like that, right? So all these people, what they're doing is they're getting what they want to believe out of these statements. It's not what Donald Trump means. It's not what he says. It's what their mind interprets these messages as. And I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm getting this through in the way that I want to. But it's like, you understand, like, so if a racist person looks at something he says, he can almost invariably find a dog whistle in there or something that he can latch on to that speaks to him. Or if you're somebody that doesn't like big government or has governmental conspiracies, there's probably something in there. If you're a religious freak and you want this to become a secular fucking fascist Christian nation, then there's something in there for you to find, and you can kind of draw your own conclusions from that. I hope I'm explaining that right. I know it's probably not the best way of doing it, but I hope you kind of understand what I'm saying. Like what you see in his posts aren't what other people and like people that follow him and love him and fucking he can do no wrong. That's not what they're seeing with their eyes and their minds. It's just completely different than what we see and hear. I hope that makes sense. Let's play a little more. I'll do a few more minutes and then I am going to hop off and go grab hopefully a bite to eat with the beautiful mother of the day.
Everything they touch turns to what? You shouldn't use.
Thank you, Foggy. 1 month. I do appreciate you. And again, I'm so excited to see these numbers grow, to see, who's been the member the longest and how many months you've been a member. Just, it excites me to see. It allows me to see, the people that have been here the longest, the people that really have my back in the back of the show and want to see this thing grow, like what I have to say, and think it's the right message. So I do appreciate you guys, especially the mods too, for giving up your time on a Sunday to scroll through endless amounts of comments. Michael, I do appreciate they're going to work tomorrow. I ironically enjoy the show. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate the $5. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate you watching and your support. Thank you so much.
That kind of language. Look, you can't use word shit, okay? That's like Christie, Chris Christie. Does anybody like Chris Christie? Good.
Was Spock, thank you. 2 members, 2 months. I do appreciate you, brother. Bang on, Boston, to infinity and beyond. Let's go. You guys are the best. It's cool seeing the same people in here week after week, supporting the show. It's just as cool to see new people in here coming in to enjoy the show and just hang out for a little bit, talk politics, watch me talk on mute for minutes at a time, that type of shit. That's what we come here for.
So I was in New Hampshire and he was fighting. He's like totally unhinged. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. I would say he was a major case of Trump derangement syndrome. But he was in there, and somebody from the front row said, "Sir, he's a fat pig."
He's really going to do this? Let me ask you a question. Anybody from New Jersey in the chat? Was Christie, at some point, he was popular in New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure he ended his tenure as popular, but he must have been popular at some point. So I don't think it's probably the best move to be going after Chris Christie. And again, this is just old bullshit that he's said at speeches fucking all over the place. It's a lie. He's using the fact, this is how his brain works. He has thought about this so much that he has thought to make up a situation where a fake person in the front row has said something fake so that Donald Trump can respond to it in a negative way, pretending to be saying something in a positive way, but just reiterating it so that it comes across as negative. Hello? What? McFly?
And I said, but nobody heard. The person was a nice person, but said I said, you cannot call Chris Christie a fat pig. You cannot do that. Please, sir, if you call him a fat pig once more, I'm going to have you leave the arena. And the guy didn't know what was happening. I said, don't worry about it. I'm only kidding. But I said, you cannot call him a fat pig because you're not allowed to use the fat word. You can use almost any word, but you can't use the fat word. It's career ending. If you call somebody fat, it's career ending. We're all fat.
It's career ending, which is why I'm about to say it 47 fucking times in the next sentence, just to prove that it's not career ending and that everything I just said is complete horseshit. Am I the only one getting this? Like, am I the only one where, like, okay, you can't, he's trying to be funny by saying that you can't say it, but he's saying it. And by saying it, proving that everything he just said about being able to say it being a killer of your career to be complete nonsensical bullshit. Hello? Like, I just fucking mind blowing. I don't know. And I know I say that a lot, but it just really is. And I fucking follow this intently for years, and it still gets me. Still fucking gets me to this day.
Except for Lawrence Taylor and OJ, they're not fat.
He did say OJ. Is OJ dead? Wait a minute. Did OJ die? OJ died, right? Come on, chat. Please. Oh, a different OJ? Who's Who else would be OJ? Who the fuck else would be OJ? Different dude. All right. All right. So I'll let him off the hook on that one. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. I'll let him off the hook. If you say it's a different OJ that he's talking about, I believe you guys, because you guys are usually more informative than I am in the chat. You guys usually know more than I do. So I'm going to roll with it. We'll see who it is.
They're not fat. They sure as hell weren't fat when they played football, were they? Huh? What do you think? I don't think so. They're great guys. So we're going to terminate the Green New scam. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to get our energy way down. Don't forget, that's what caused inflation. Let energy get out of hand, and it.
No, it's not what caused inflation. As a result of COVID, the price of fuel and gas went up because not as many people were working. It was harder to get people to drive the ships. The ports weren't working. It was harder to get people to unload, and it just the whole fucking 9 yards is stupid. What had one thing? He's talking about the chicken and the egg, right? So obviously one came before the other. You just have to know which one came first, and it wasn't the fact that oil prices were going up.
It went to $100 a barrel. And now Putin also said, Putin would have never done that with Ukraine. But Putin now says, oh, man, at 100, he can spend a fortune on the war.
And how's that going for him so far? You know, bar the recent, let's say, small advances the Russian military has been making. Overall, how is this 72-hour campaign, what Russia said was going to be a 72-hour operation, how is that now going for him? More people have joined NATO. He's lost somewhere between 200 and 500,000 service members. He's spent God knows how much money. He's got natural disasters occurring in his country. He's got more problems on his hand that he is not going to be able to afford to do or react to. Look at the dams. Okay, check this out. You guys want to know how wealthy and how well Russia is doing because of the oil prices that Donald Trump wants you to believe. Look at this. Damn. Okay. Let's see if I can find just a little video. This is from news. This is a month ago. Okay. I know there was another one that just broke too. We'll just go to images. We'll go to images here. All right. Share this tab instead. Just footage of damage caused by dams collapsing around Russia. You know, see 64 missing in Russian dam disaster, likely dead, and there's nothing Putin can do about it. All his money is being spent. That's the other one. That's Ukrainian dam. Recent. All his time, money, energy, resources is being spent on the war. So there's absolutely nobody to help these people. You know what I mean? There's no extra resources that these people are going to get that's going to help them in this case. So this is just another way to show that obviously Putin ain't doing well. Obviously the country of Russia is not doing well. Otherwise, they'd be able to either prevent shit like this or adequately react to it in a way that helps their citizens out, not let them die. Shit. So get back to this. A couple more minutes, and I got a jet. And thank you guys for sticking with me. I do appreciate it. But, you know, just a little sidebar on that, just to let you know how much bullshit Donald Trump is actually speaking. He'd love you to believe that Putin's over there rolling in the dough. Russia is just rolling in the dough. Everything's going swimmingly according to plan. When really nothing could be further from the fucking truth. People are still saying OJ is dead. Yes, it's a different OJ, I guess. We still haven't. If anybody could type his name, who the new OJ is, I'd love to know.
If he kept it at $40 a barrel, Putin wouldn't have been able to do that. But Russia's made a fortune in this war because this man that we have that doesn't know what he's doing has allowed energy. And right now it's getting close to $100 a barrel again. You're not going to end the war unless you bring down the price of oil. But he doesn't understand that. And it's so simple. But
wait, what?
Right now it's getting close to $100 a barrel again. You're not going to end the war unless you bring down the price of oil. But he doesn't understand that. And
Oh, Jesus. Picking apart what this guy says is just literally takes years off your life. So basically, he wants to just totally control the war by using the price of oil. That's what he thinks is going to end the war, is just bring the price of oil down. How does he think that is going to work? And why does this keep pulling? Sorry. How does he think that's going to work? That just makes absolutely no sense to me. I know oil is a huge factor and a huge proponent in war, so I know you can control it that way. But I don't see how in a war of this nature, how in what just as many people that would affect. I don't know. It just makes absolutely no sense.
it's so simple. But Putin, that would have never happened. If you look at you take a look at President Xi of China, talking about Beijing. Now, they've got ships circling, they have planes, but they never would.
Talking about what?
Look at you take a look at President Xi of China, talking about Beijing. Now, they've got.
He said Xi, right?
President Xi of China, talking about Beijing. Now, they've got ships circling, they have planes, but they never.
They have ships circling Taiwan. I mean, Beijing? D means Taiwan, right? Obviously.
About Beijing. Now, they've got ships circling.
Well, Beijing, it'd be pretty tough to circle Beijing in a boat.
They have planes, but they never were doing anything. President Xi of China with Taiwan.
Okay. All right. Misspeak much, sir? How are you, sir? Definitely. Okay. All right. No, you're right. You guys are right. He definitely meant Taiwan. I was so confused there. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. Why would Xi be talking about Beijing? Beijing's in China. Why would he be circling them with boats? You can't circle Beijing in a boat. So obviously, this is the one time where he goes back and actually corrects himself. I think he noticed. Yeah, stream of consciousness. This is the one time he actually noticed that he fucks up and cared to go back and fix it. Because most of the time, when he fucks up, he just steamrolls ahead, pretending like he didn't fuck up. So at least this time, he corrected himself.
And I said, if you do that, it's going to be so bad for Beijing. You don't want to do that. It's going to be so bad for Beijing.
This is the part where he tries to make it seem like he didn't fuck up and he was actually trying to speak about Beijing. So now he's trying to tie Beijing back into the conversation, which will then, he thinks, get him off the hook for confusing Taiwan with Beijing. See what I'm saying here? So watch. He's going to try to tie Beijing back into this conversation so that, you know, if anybody that says he messed up in the beginning, he's going to say, no, he meant to do it because he brought him back in afterwards. Watch. Check this out. I'll play it from the beginning.
Now, they've got ships circling, they have planes, but they never were doing anything. President Xi of China.
So he knows he fucked up, which is why he's saying President Xi of China again. He's going back to the beginning of that sentence, and he's going to do it right this time.
With Taiwan. And I said, if you do that, it's going to be so bad for Beijing.
So this is where he tries to tie Beijing into the conversation because he said Beijing earlier.
Want to do that's going to be so bad for Beijing. He said, but what do you mean by that? You have to think about that. You're going to have to think about that.
So now he's going off the cuff, making up a story that will somehow back up his fuck up. Right? Do you know what I'm saying?
to be so bad for Beijing. He said, but what do you
Yeah,
mean by
what the
that?
fuck do you mean? You talking about China as a whole, or just what are you fucking talking about?
You have to think about that. You're going to have to think about that. Don't do it. And he would never have done it. Let's see what he does. But boy, they have ships circling Taiwan at levels that they've never had. They have planes. It's not very comfortable to be living right now in Taiwan. And so Russia wouldn't happen. That wouldn't have happened. And you know what wouldn't have happened? The attack on Israel on October 7th would not have happened.
Well, a lot of evidence goes to prove or goes to suggest that it only happened because of your administration in, let's say, I don't know, the Golan Heights, the moving of the embassy, what was the Abraham Accords. A lot of this has been said that it went on to fuel Hamas's plans to attack Israel. So much could be said to the fact that you had just as much blame in that as saying any other world leader and the other world leader that failed to prevent it. So my take.
It would not have happened. But you won't have, getting back to our wonderful area that we love, you won't have to worry about Governor Murphy's 157 windmills. And you know, one of the best fighters in that is Congressman.
I don't actually, there's no fucking, oh, thank you, Stargal. Just followed me on Patreon. I do appreciate that. That's awesome. And I thank you very much for that. It's very generous of you. Thank you. That's, I mean, the fact that people, again, come out of pocket and are willing to in any way help produce or donate or just say thank you, a coffee, whatever, to me for sitting here yapping my gums is just, it's a really, really cool, really strange feeling at the same time. So thank you so much. I'm still trying to learn how to react to people being so generous. Not really, not really one of my strong suits, but thank you.
Van Drew, he has fought so hard. I don't know, he's around here someplace. There's nobody that fought that. Right over there, you'll see these things all over the place. They destroy everything. They're horrible and the most expensive energy there is. They ruin the environment. They kill the birds. They kill the whales. But on the ocean.
Oh. Like at this point, he's saying it so much, it's like hard to fucking. How would it kill a whale? Okay, my hometown in Boston has 2 windmills, one at each end of the town. They're older. Let me just say, I think they've been in there for something like 15, 20 years. How old am I? They went in 24 or so. Old. Yeah, they're old. They're over 20 years old. They did their job. The expensive part comes when they've gone through their lifespan and it comes time to replacing them. And what do you do when that happens? That's the expensive part and the part you have to worry about. But up until then, we've had 20 something years of 2 windmills in our tiny little town helping us out. We live on the ocean. Not one fucking whale has washed up, which is just the fact that I even have to say that, and the fact that I even have to fucking combat that sentence right there is just fucking ridiculous in every way imaginable. But yes, there was no fucking huge pile of dead birds at the bottom of the windmills. They did not cause cancer. There was no uptick in cancer caused. Cancer had in our town. The noise wasn't an issue. It didn't go that didn't do any of that. So everything this man has now been saying is complete and utter horse shit. Horse shit. Okay? Horse shit. Ridiculous. His war on windmills is fucking ridiculous.
They kill the birds. They kill the whales. But are the ocean floor surveys for their construction that are causing tremendous problems with the fish and the whales and everything else? Nobody even knows what it is. But I think in 20 years, 1 whale washed up on shore. And then where they have these things, they come up all the time dead. They come up for sure. Yeah.
Just a fucking straight lie, made up story that is a part in the man's stump speech for President of the United States of America. Okay? Just a blatant, outright, made up story, lie, fucking that a little kid wouldn't believe, right? If you said that to a little kid would be like, "Was that true?" You'd be like, "Absolutely not." And they'd be like, "I didn't think so either." That's fucking insane. Just how do we let him get away with this shit? You know what I mean? Just because he says it a lot and just because it's in every speech doesn't mean we have to normalize it, right? Doesn't mean we have to be like, okay, I'm sick of hearing it. He says that in every speech. It's nothing. No, it's not nothing. This is the fucking presidential candidate for the fucking Republican Party to become president of the nation, speaking bullshit out of his ass during one of his fucking criminal trial breaks about windmills killing whales. That has never fucking happened. It's just stupid. It's fucking stupid.
He said they remind him of Chris Christie. What the hell are you doing?
What the fuck does that even mean?
This can only happen in New Jersey, right, Jeff? Can only happen in New Jersey. The electricity.
What? The windmills are all over the fucking place, you fucking idiot. Good Lord.
Because it's the highest in the country. That's what you've got. We are going to make sure that that ends on day one. I'm going to write it out in an executive order. It's going to end on day one. But unfortunately, the Democrats in New Jersey have embraced Joe Biden's radical pro-China plan to eliminate gas-powered cars and trucks. Can you believe it? And force everyone into ultra-expensive electric vehicles that don't go far.
Again, no fucking mandate says that we have to get rid of gas-powered vehicles. Nothing in this country is going to force you ever to get an electric vehicle. It's not going to fucking happen. It's complete and utter bullshit. Just like the fucking whales washing up. Again, this is the candidate for president of the United States lying to your fucking face about what the Democrats are doing, what their policies are, and what the effects are going to be of those fake fucking policies. Nobody is mandating that you drive. What they would like to see by a certain year is that a certain percentage of the vehicles are green vehicles, whatever they may be. Fucking what are the other ones? The fuel cell ones. You got fucking hybrids. You know what I mean? Like nothing is ever going to mandate you in a free country to get a certain type of vehicle. Okay. And another thing, if Joe Biden's policies are pro-China, then Joe Biden's pro-China policies must be the fucking worst policies on the face of the fucking planet, because China's economy has absolutely tanked since Joe Biden got in office. Joe Biden has done more to decouple the United States from fucking China, whether it be jobs, whether it be them stealing our fucking tech, whether it be fucking financially, whether it be other businesses and other business owners having fucking shit to do and shit going on in China. Hello, has anybody seen fucking China's economy lately? Has anybody seen what's going on there? Has anybody seen the Chips and Science Act, one of the most important fucking pieces of legislation that this country has seen in a fucking long time? Right? Where the all-important chips that we have in our everyday equipment are now being made and processed and being produced inside our country, instead of us being forced to go to other parts of the world that we don't really have fucking an agreement with, that at any point they could say, I don't know, let's raise the price of these chips, or I'm not giving you these chips unless they do this, this, or this. So again, if Joe Biden received money from China, if Joe Biden was bribed, if Joe Biden is supposed to have these fucking pro-China policies, then China got fucked royally, okay? They got fucked big time in this deal. And all you have to do is look at the economy. There's not a bunch of fucking aspects of this you have to look at. Look at how the natural disasters, again, in these countries that we talk about, Russia, China, look at what happens when a natural disaster takes place in these countries. Do they do anything to fucking help their people? No. In most cases, China does shit to make it worse. What they do is they divert the floodwaters into different parts of China without telling these people that it's coming, without evacuating, with no fucking prior notice, so that it doesn't get the influential parts of, say, Beijing or other cities in China. Same thing in Russia. These fucking corrupt nations aren't using their money, aren't using that to help or better the people in their fucking country. No. That's not how it works. So to decouple us from these countries is to help the United States. And that's exactly what Joe Biden has done. And that's exactly what Joe Biden will continue to do, because he knows the importance of creating and processing and producing this shit inside of the United States of America, which is why we've added more fucking jobs, which is why the unemployment rate has been at its lowest for, what is it, in the last 40 or 50 years? That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. Not shit coming from China, like fucking Trump's hats and Trump's shirts and Trump's fucking everything, every fucking piece of merch he's ever made, or Ivanka's publishing rights, or copyright deals, or whatever the fuck she got over there while Trump was president. Sorry, rant over.
Say they have a couple of problems. They're too expensive. They're going to be made in China, and they don't go far. Other than that, I think they're wonderful. On day one, I will immediately terminate Joe Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate, and there will be no ban on gas cars and gas trucks in the Garden State. There will be no ban anywhere.
Yep, another dictatorial fucking step-by-step in the fascist playbook. Tell people that you're going to do something. Tell people that you're going to fix something that doesn't need fixing, right? Something that is already on the up and ups, or something that's already been built, or something that's already been established. Therefore, when you get in office, you don't have to do a fucking thing, but open your mouth and tell people that you fixed that. And then they'll go ahead and all of a sudden open their eyes and be like, wow, you're right. It is fucking fixed, right? So there's no ban. There is no ban. There never will be a ban. But what he's going to do, he's going to write a fucking executive order saying there'll never be a ban, thus solving a problem that isn't a fucking problem. Cosmic Rose, stop it. That's not funny. That's not fucking funny. But anyways, I'm way over. I do apologize. I'm gonna get out of this fucking fascist hellhole before I get too upset and go too off the rails. Say something that maybe gets me thrown off. But I mean, you guys get the picture. You get the idea. I wish I could honestly cover more of his speeches. I really do. I would, but it's just. It needs to be done. Every time I stop and say something, it needs to be said. The shit that he talks about, the lies that he tells, as stupid as they are, the fucking whale lie, the electric car mandate lie, easy lies to say, to actually prove that they're wrong, to prove to be false, but somehow they work. Somehow people believe it. And when he keeps repeating it and repeating it and repeating it, which is another fascist tactic, repeat it until they know it. Repeat it until that's all they know. Right? You know what I mean? So to drill this shit into their heads, regardless of how stupid it is, regardless of how crazy it might seem, regardless of how unfactual it is, regardless of how obvious to you it is that that's not the fucking truth. If you hear it and hear it and hear it, and the person on your left is repeating it, the person on your right is repeating it, the fucking guy that you believe is your Lord and Savior is telling you that, then you're gonna fall into the trap. I mean, these are why these tactics are known and used, because they work. This is how you sway a large group of people. There are ways to do it, and the Nazis, Stalin and his crew. Kim Jong-un in Mao in China, Pol Pot, how many? There's a fucking million. They all knew these fucking playbooks. Omar Gaddafi, what's his name? Baghdad. Can't think of him. Anyway, these are the tactics that they used. How to control the minds of people. How to control the thought. How to enter every part, every facet of their life, like the Nazis did, from school to church to fucking the shops to dancing to recreational stuff. They were infiltrated into every part of that. So no matter where you were hearing Saddam Hussein. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. So no matter where you went, you were hearing the party propaganda. It was getting into you no matter where you were. There was going to be people talking about it. It was going to be hard for you to disagree with what you were hearing because of so many people around you believing it. In the quickness, the how quick they are to jump on you if you go against what the party line, against what they're towing. So it's important to do this. And I'm, like I said, I'm sorry. I'm stuffed up. I've gone over. It's Mother's Day. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope to all you mothers are having a nice, relaxing, comfortable, kid-free, carefree day. That's my wish. Guarantee that's not happening for most of you because that's just how it is. I mean, you're just amazing people that seem to carry on with your lives and get shit done no matter how tired you are, no matter how much bullshit is going on in the background, no matter how much extra stuff you have to deal with, no matter how difficult things are financially. You guys seem to get it done. So, fuck. I got myself on that one. But thank you to all you guys. And thank you to my mom. I'm awful at this. Thank you to my mom for being the most amazing person. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you got your stuff that I sent. I love you. Fuck. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. I love you all. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it out. Those of you, I got to go through the stod. Thank you. Got to go through the stod, people. All right. So we'll go from the beginning. Colin Wayne became a member. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hold on. Back in action. Louis Seja Jr., I appreciate you, Boston, learning from Housebox. I'm trying, just on the tech side at least. You know what I mean? Kim, thank you so much for becoming a member. Steve, thank you for the 2 months. Nick Rich, thank you so much for the 3. Mozart, Margot, Wendy, Margot again with the $20 super sticker. Thank you so much. JD, thank you for the 5. Sally for the 5 gifted. Kelly's, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Happy Blunt Day, says Shay with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Tim Scott, thank you for the $10. He misses the backwards cap. I know, I'm trying to normalize no hat so that, I can look a little bit more professional at least. I do. Don't worry. It's not far. It's never far. So you get your wish for your 10. All right. Jim the Geek, thank you for becoming a channel member. Trucker John, thank you for the same. Betty Loco, thank you so much. Sean Z, thank you so much for the 5. Again with another 5. Betty Loco with the 5. Thank you so much. James Griffin, thank you. Loretta, Corey for the super chats. Michael Andrews, Crystal Waters with the 20. You're the best. Carl Smith, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you. OG Carl. Edward Cooley, thank you for becoming a new member. Lisa, thank you for becoming a new member. Skull Saw, thank you for the $2. Greg for the becoming a new member. Jerry also. Candy for the $10. Foggy Ozark for becoming a member for 1 month. Gino, Mr. Spark, all for 2 months. Nick Rich for 2 months. 7 Dust, 1 month. Colleen gave a $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, Colleen. Junoon for the $10. Tracy Rowe, Edward Cooley rounding it out. So thank you to every single one of you guys who has shown love and support for the show. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Somebody said they lost their mom a year ago, and I am terribly sorry to hear that. My deepest condolences to anybody in the chat that is missing their mom today. So it's a terrible situation to be in. I don't wish it on anybody, but I know you guys are strong and I know you'll make it through. So please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you guys. I love you. Again, take care of your moms today, please. Make sure you're calling her. Make sure you're thanking her. Make sure you're sending her what she likes. Make sure you're taking care of whatever she may need taken care of. Just give her the day off, at least. That goes to any kids that may be watching in the chat. Get off my lawn, kids. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. I do appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And again, happy Mother's Day. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time, next Sunday, same time, same place. Like, subscribe, share. Next Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thank you again. Have a good one. You just can't fucking please everybody, you know? Some people like it, some people don't. What are you gonna do? But noted, Wes. Noted. To all the mods too, I appreciate you guys for your work, for your help. Appreciate the mod that has helped us in the last few weeks. You guys are the best. I appreciate you, especially you. Thank you so much. You guys do a fantastic job. I just want to make sure that you guys know that you are seen and are appreciated. You, Adam. Obviously, you, Mel. Who else we got in there? We got Kirby. Let's see. I can see all of them in here. You're all over the place. I love it. Turby, thank you so much again. Mark D, thank you so much as usual.